there in pretty good time on this early point of a Monday morning with WICC traffic. Cruising Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight, the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Fioric on WICC.
When we say you can listen to the voice of Connecticut anywhere, we really mean it. You can stream us at work or listen in your car. And that's just on your phone. We've totally redesigned our smartphone app, and now it's easier to use. Listen live, find podcasts, keep up to date with everything going on in Connecticut, and it's still totally free. Just go to your app store now and search for WICC. Milford's live and local news source for 100 years. The voice of Connecticut. WICC 695.9.
It's very exciting music here. It makes me want to get up and run. Here we go. Hey, how are you? How is everyone? Good morning. It's Paul and for Melissa. I'm sorry. I've only had like one mouthful of coffee so far, so you can check that out. How are you? 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Great to be in with you. What is this, a Monday? Yes, April the 6th, 2026. Hope you all had a happy and joyous Passover and Easter celebrations on the weekend. Got a lot of leftovers, I would assume, or not. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes people chow down enough where there were no leftovers. Sometimes there's lots of leftovers. Sometimes people take another plate. Take. No, that's enough. That's enough. We've all been there, right? Been there, done that, right? All righty. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Boy, what to talk about on the weekend. Yikes. Of course, the whole thing with the UConn, number one, the men in the title game tonight, they are under. I had to check the point spread. Hey, Eric, do me a favor. Can you jump on some sort of betting site there and see what the point spread is tonight for the men? I think it's 5 or 6 or something like that. Not that I'm condoning gambling or betting, but listen, it's all around us. DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM. Whatever. There's the odds are all over the place, so you can't miss it. Which again is is the thing that we especially when we have people, the problem gambling people on there, the people that deal with that sort of stuff. But the Huskies, the men, are a decided underdog in tonight's action, but we'll see, right? Boy, Danny Hurley is quite a character. Yeah, real quick, Eric, what's the line there
right now?
Tonight?
Right now, the projection is Wolverines by 5.2 points.
All right, there you go. So that's what I thought. Thanks, man. So it's a 5 or 6 point spread. So if you're betting UConn, you get 5. This is how his spread works. I know a lot of people aren't uber familiar with this stuff, but a spread works. If you're betting the underdog, you get the points. If you're betting the favorite, you are minus the points. So Eric said about 5. It'll probably stay between 5 and 6 throughout the day. So we'll see what happens. The thing with Gino Auriemma and Dawn Staley over the weekend, just odd. And listen, you've got, and even the apology, if you read Gino Auriemma's apology, he didn't exactly apologize to Dawn Staley. He apologized and sent a shout out and cited the great staff at South Carolina. And listen, this is, and I know it made huge news and people are emotional and everything, but this happens a lot. Now, it doesn't really come to a head most times the way it did the other day. I mean, when two coaches don't like each other, You generally know that. And I don't really know whether or not Dawn Staley and or Gino Auriemma genuinely like or dislike each other. I don't pretend to get into anybody's grill here, as the youngins say. I don't pretend to do that. But the whole Gino thing was embarrassing over the weekend. And in case you missed it, at the handshake at the end of the game, he and Dawn Staley exchanged words. Listen, sports is an emotional thing. We get it. We understand it. But there were a couple of strange things there. Gino complained that, well, look, this all comes from the disparity in free throws and the foul call. Without getting too much into the minutia of this. But you have two very, how should we say this? Two very headstrong individuals. Two pretty headstrong individuals who, went at it. And Dawn Staley chirped back at him, and she was like, well, geez, I don't know what he's all upset about. So, Gino said something about one of the UConn women getting their uniform top torn because the physical play was so physical, and she came out. I forgot who it was. Was it AZ Fudd? I don't know. She came out after the game and said, well, no, it wasn't. I did it myself. Oh. And then the other aspect was Gino felt that he was showed up, if you will, by Dawn Staley being late for the pregame meeting and handshake. Now, having done women's college basketball occasionally on TV, but mostly on radio for Quinnipiac for years, yeah, there's a pregame handshake. But, at the level I saw it, it was, hey, how are you? Quick hug, quick handshake. Good to see you here. Hey, you guys or gals are going to be pretty good. Let's give them a good one tonight. Hand slap on the shoulder, and that's it. That's it. Bye-bye. But I guess Gino thought that he was made to wait. I don't know. Just bizarre stuff. And there were people going into that game who said that, hey, as much as UConn was on a freight train run this year with the women, there were people saying, hey, that was a bad matchup potentially for the Huskies, and it was. So listen, and then South Carolina got beat up pretty good by UCLA. So you know what? It's hard to win championships. That's because at the end, whether it's March Madness, your bowling league, your bingo league, or whatever, because at the end, there's only one team, there's only one person, that's it. And sometimes in life, especially when you have uber, super passionate fan bases like UConn, well, we got a shot. Well, you know what? You and 63 other teams, plus the play-in teams, you've all got shots. You've all got a chance. And now you see what's going to happen even less. These Cinderella teams in men's and women's college basketball, that's really not going to happen anymore because players jump from team to team to team with this name, image, and likeness money. So there you go. So a little to-do between Gino and Dawn Staley, two type A personalities over the weekend. All right, Paul for Melissa. Melissa, in the morning, I'd love to chat with you. Email is Paul, P-A-U-L, Paul, at voiceofct.com. And you can get a hold of us. You know how to do that with the number 203-333-9422, 333-WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, we're starting to bunch up a little bit on 95 southbound, and this is after you pass Bridgeport. You're going to find as you hit the west end, it gets kind of heavy for a while, and it's going to stay slow off and on all the way through Fairfield and as you get into Southport. We're also seeing some problems now because of a crash near Plattsville on the Merritt. This is on the southbound side. With those two exceptions, we're in okay shape to get started for this early Monday morning. Let's keep it flowing smoothly this morning with WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Looking for quality dental care close to home? Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven is here for you. As part of our robust network of 12 locations, we're open to fit your busy schedule. From routine cleanings and checkups to implants and oral surgery, Columbia Dental provides complete care for the whole family, all in one place. Call us today at 203-299-0111 or visit columbiadental.com. That's columbiadental.com. Your smile, our priority.
Bumped your bumper? Kissed a curb? With Sono Collision, your car will be back to top notch in no time. Because we don't just repair, we care. Visit sonocollision.com. Your car will thank you.
Some people reach a line and stop. Some hit a wall and turn around. Then there are the ones who cross the line, climb the wall, face obstacles, and turn them to their advantage. That's where we come in. We're the next rodeo. We design bold marketing that drives real growth. A creative partner for businesses ready to push forward beyond what's expected. The Next Rodeo. Learn more at thenextrodeo.com.
For the best FCAC high school baseball and lacrosse coverage, listen to Bats and Sticks with Dave Rudin. Tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m. on the Voice of Connecticut, WICC 600 and 95.9. Bats and Sticks, brought to you by Duchess. Fresh food served fast.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. New Thompson demands one including vulgar language from President Trump to Iran.
Giving the regime until Tuesday to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face a massive attack on the country's power plants and bridges. An Iranian official dismissed the demands, calling President Trump a, quote, unstable, delusional figure.
CBS's Jesse Mitchell. Pakistan has just presented a two-tier framework for ending hostilities, calls for an immediate ceasefire. For now, airfares are going up. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
In the U.S., ticket prices are already rising 7 and 20% for the foreseeable future.
Gas prices today, an average $4.12 a gallon in the U.S. The Artemis II crew is set to get a close-up of the far side of the moon today. Commander Reed Wiseman.
The four of us have looked at this moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we are seeing out the window is... it's just like we're a bunch of little kids up here. Just we cannot get enough of this. It's amazing.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Governor Ned Lamont and top legislators have 4 weeks to agree on a budget plan. The only agreement so far has come on a tax cut plan that's expected to save small businesses on licensing fees for various professions. This comes as estimators say the state budget deficit could reach $180 million for the fiscal year. Negotiators typically wait until the April 15th tax deadline to ramp up discussions after they get a clearer picture of the state's fiscal health. Funding for state prison reform and living facilities for people with disabilities are two topics expected to be at the forefront of many discussions. Connecticut gubernatorial candidate Betsy McCoy is pledging to end the state income tax if she's elected this coming November. The former New York lieutenant governor is one of 3 candidates running for the Republican nomination for governor, alongside former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart and State Senator Ryan Fazio. In a conversation with News 8, McCoy said that her proposal to eliminate the income tax would be a gradual one and pointed to examples in other states for how to accomplish it.
The naysayers say, well, there'll be a huge hole in the state budget. The income tax currently provides half the revenue. We're not blowing a hole in the state budget. This is a fiscally responsible, gradual way. The bill says in each of these states, when revenue increases by 5%, the lawmakers are legally bound to use that new money to reduce the income tax step by step rather than spending it on new programs, new spending. And that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do in Connecticut.
She went on to say that the total elimination of the tax would take approximately 5 years. A Southern Connecticut State University student is reportedly being detained by ICE. In a statement, the university's interim president, Sandy Bulmer, said the incident happened off campus. She said the school is working to get more information while respecting the privacy of the student involved. Bulmer also said that there's been no evidence of ICE activity on the SCSU campus. Police are investigating a homicide in Stratford that happened this past Saturday. Officers were called to a disturbance on Woodstock Avenue. When they arrived, they discovered that the disturbance had upgraded to a homicide. Police say there is no threat to the public, and the incident is still under investigation. A diner in East Haven gave out over 200 meals for Easter yesterday. Twin Pines Diner first began giving out Thanksgiving meals during the pandemic, but after an overwhelming response from the community, owner Jim Triantis decided to start doing it on Easter as well. The meals are available to veterans, seniors, or anyone else who needs a free meal. Recipients had their choice of either Virginia ham or roasted turkey. And UConn will have experience on their side against Michigan in the NCAA championship game tonight. While the Huskies are considered underdogs, they still boast one of the winningest players of all time in Alex Karaban. Karaban has been part of 2 national championship teams already in 2023 and 24, and he'd be the only player ever to win a third besides those on the UCLA teams that won 10 national championships in the 60s and 70s. The win would also cement head coach Dan Hurley's legacy as one of the most successful coaches of all time. Hurley says it's a great opportunity to make the people of Connecticut proud. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Right, you are, John. Sponsored this time around by Bridgelight Financial Advisors. You can reduce taxes you pay on your retirement income and keep the money you've saved with Bridgelight Financial Advisors tax saving strategies. Learn more. Check them out. BridgelightAdvisors.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Hey, our 2 trouble spots of the morning seem to be getting worse, and the worst of it right now is on 95 southbound. Your backup is going to start just after you pass Route 8, and then it's going to stay very heavy through the west end of Bridgeport and all the way down past Fairfield University and almost to Southport before it eases out. Our other trouble spot is on the Merritt Parkway. And these are problems that start just a little after you pass the Trumbull Mall. Some heavy stuff for a little while, passing through Plattsville and all the way down over Route 58 before it starts to ease, a little before the Burr Street overpass in Murray. Beyond those 2 spots, everything else is traveling well through New Haven, all the way up 91 to Hartford. Frankly, things are looking good on the Wilbur Cross, and 95 South, after all that mess, is pretty good all the way to the New York State line. That's your WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight, the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or 2 and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Pioric on WICC.
Trying to lose weight on your own? Stop guessing and start seeing results with Medi Weight Loss. You'll meet face-to-face with experienced providers who create a personalized plan built around you, including nutrition guidance, coaching, and prescription options when medically appropriate. And now they've lowered their pricing to help more people get started. Your first month of a GLP-1 medication is available for as low as $99. Visit MediWeightLoss.com to find your nearest Connecticut location and book your free assessment today.
Is your DIY why security not giving you the security you need for the next level of security? Call Trumbull-based Property Protection Consulting. PPC can use your existing system or install a new system. Floodlights, cameras, and security devices working in concert. All from one simple app for smart home and business security tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Get a complimentary assessment. Go to ppcalarms.com. Book your complimentary assessment. ppcalarms.com. They get 5-star reviews for a reason.
Discover the finest flooring in Southern Connecticut at Courtesy Carpet. With over 50 years experience, from intricate area rugs and durable vinyl to elegant stair runners, they have it all. Shop anywhere, but see them before you buy. Visit L&J and their team on Route 111 in Monroe or at courtesycarpet.com. Financing is available, so you can get the floors you love today. Trust the experts in quality flooring, because at Courtesy Carpet, your satisfaction is their courtesy.
Keep listening all day while you work. Add voiceofct.com to your bookmarks. Melissa in the Morning, now on WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Yeah, hey, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. 6 and 38. 38 past 6, 22 before 7. How are you? 203-333-9422, 333 WICC. Did I start the camera? I think I did. We'll be on twitch.tv and YouTube if you want to look in there at the camera, say hello, hi. Hey, you know what? If you're about my age, right, and I turned 65 last week, big deal, the world still spins. If you're about my age, you then grew up. You grew up in the middle of the Gemini or Gemini, that is still being debated now. Was it Project Gemini or Project Gemini? You grew up during that, then you segued into Apollo. So if you're about my age, a little older, a little younger, we're children of the space age, right? The Jetsons and everything, and all the cars with the fins on them and everything. And I remember sitting there, watching the moon landing, watching out of that grainy video there from the moon when Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon. So a lot of us are following with a lot of intent here what's going on with Artemis 2. They're not landing on the moon. They're not even going to make any orbits. They're doing a swing by, a flyby, with a better look at the dark side of the moon, the back side of the moon, then they're coming home. Okay, so we know that. And 4-person crew on that flight: Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, the mission specialist Christina Cook, all from NASA, all have flown before, and the mission specialist Jeremy Hansen from the Canadian Space Agency. And it was interesting to hear, and the video and audio quality, you would imagine, from the last time we did this in the 70s to now, is like night and day. It just amazing stuff. So, if you remember, they there was a live transmission on Christmas Eve of 1968 from the Apollo 8 crew. And they were only given about a 50-50 shot of being able to get to the moon, which they did, doing some orbits and coming home. And they were able to do that, and they they read the Bible. They had some Bible readings there, and it was pretty profound for that time. Nobody knew they were going to do it. They kept it a secret. They said, well, if we said it was going to be a Bible reading, some people might object, and I understand that. Well, over the weekend, there was a couple of news conferences, and they talked to the astronauts, and they asked the astronauts, you look back at Earth, and what do you see? You're looking back at the Earth, and what do you see? What are your feelings? What are your emotions? Because remember, anybody who is in orbit or going to the moon at any one time is looking back on everybody else. Like there's nobody behind you. It's nobody. Excuse me. If you're done, can you move it? No. Now, there may be some aliens out there, but we don't know that. There's all debate about that now. Is the government finally going to come and deal with us on that? Who knows? So they asked the Artemis crew to talk about their feelings in relationship to everything that's going on in the world and all of that. And how does it feel when you're in this vehicle that's got the cubic space of 2 minivans? Now, there's stuff that can fold in and out. There's 4 people in 2 minivans in a compartment, the size of about 2 minivans, which is not horrible. It ain't exactly stretch out space. I think it's 330 cubic feet, which, all right, you can move around a little bit, relax, sleep, whatever. Do what you have to do. By the way, toilet problems. So they asked Victor Glover. Victor, you're up there now. You're on the way to go further away from the Earth than any humans have ever been. What are your thoughts?
I don't have anything prepared. I'm glad you brought that up, though. I think these observances are important, and as we are so far from Earth and looking back at, the beauty of creation, I think for me, one of the really important personal perspectives that I have up here is I can really see Earth as one thing. And, when I read the Bible and I look at all of the amazing things that were done for us who were created, it's, you have this amazing place, this spaceship. You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in the universe, in the cosmos. I think maybe the distance we are from you makes you think what we're doing is special, but we're the same distance from you, and I'm trying to tell you, just trust me, you are special. In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
How about that, huh? There you go. So they did it back in 1968, and they did it over the weekend. Some profound stuff there. I'll play that later on again if you missed it or want to alert somebody to it. But NASA astronaut Victor Glover saying, hey, the Earth is a spaceship too. What did he say? It's the universe is a vast nothingness, which it is. So some profound stuff there from Victor Glover. So later on today, we wish them well as they go on the far side of the moon and take a look and make measurements and do that sort of stuff that not too many people have. By the way, there are some local companies who are making this all possible. We'll talk about them coming up first, though. We'll do traffic and weather together. Standing by, we'll chat with Paul Pior coming up right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, we really do have some problems this morning, and they're focusing on 95 southbound as you pass Bridgeport. Yeah, you're going to see the west end backed up with a bunch of dead spots, slow on and off through Fairfield, almost to Southport. A few more slow spots beyond that, approaching Greens Farms and headed toward Norwalk, but nothing quite as bad. Earlier, we had a crash as well on the Merritt southbound. That's got things backed up starting around Plattsville and some pretty heavy spots all the way past Route 58 and through Murray in the Burr Street overpass. Beyond that, we're in pretty good shape trying to get to work on this Monday morning. Let's take it easy and get there in one piece. I'm Cruising Bruce with WICC Traffic.
All right, Bruce, thank you. Appreciate that. 646, Paul Pioric is with us. Paul, good morning, my friend. How are you? And what happened? I put
What do you mean, what happened?
Well, I put my shorts on yesterday and this morning, and I stepped outside. I went, whoa! I guess, yeah. What happened? Paul, good morning. How are you, sir?
Well, good morning. It is April after all.
Yes,
Right?
yes, yeah. What do we have here, my friend?
Well, we've got a sunny sky by mid-morning and blustery through the afternoon, so you may need the babushka.
Oh, are we going full babushka alert today?
We are going full babushka.
Is it an Aquanet day? Do we
you
bring that
remember
up?
me like a book. Yes, already been applied.
Excellent.
Yes.
Outstanding.
So the cement is on. And by the way, did you realize that we have the ISS and Artemis both in the sky right now?
I know. And
Wow.
as a STEM guy who dabbles in science and STEM with your students, I mean, these are lessons, especially with the Artemis. It's a lesson plan tailor-made for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
Wow. Now, my favorite astronaut was Michael Collins.
Yeah, really.
You know, he's the one who orbited the moon while we had Armstrong on the moon with Aldrin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote a book called The Loneliest Human.
Yeah, because he was it, man. I mean, even his two compadres there, they were on the surface, and for 2 or 3 days, it was just him sitting in that capsule. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and he wrote the novel about when he was on the far side of the moon with no able to contact humanity.
Imagine that.
Right.
Imagine that. Oh my God. I think we're lucky to have grown up in that time, Paul, and
we were.
Hopefully, we'll get back to it. When are we getting back to it feeling like spring again, sir?
Well, later in the week.
All right.
So by the end of the week, it'll feel more like April, but right now it is not.
Okay.
Good morning. We are right now generally in the 30s statewide. We have a reading in Bridgeport of 38. Our dew point is down to 31. We have a wind gusting out of the northwest, and it will be on the windy side through the afternoon. Although by mid-morning we'll see the sun, it will be a bright afternoon. We'll have a high in the low 50s. Tonight we may get a shower after midnight with a low near 30. Tomorrow is sunny, cool with a high only around 50. By midweek on Wednesday, more sun with an afternoon high getting up into the upper 40s, and then we moderate into the 50s and 60s by late week. Right now we have readings in the 30s, a nip in the air, windy through the afternoon. We'll see the sun by mid-morning and a brilliant day on the way. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Back to the news and talk. Thanks to Smart MLS. Smart sellers ask, is my home on Smart MLS? The voice of Connecticut, WICC 695.9. It's Melissa in the morning.
All right, you and I together. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope all of you are well out there at 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. It's Paul and for Melissa on the Melissa in the Morning program, as John had mentioned in the news, and as we had mentioned regarding the news around the area, looking into Hartford, and we'll get to more of this later on as the show progresses here. Again, budget time in Hartford. Now, again, the budget is actually said these are kind of budget adjustments that have to be made here. And again, you've got some question as to and this is the kind of stuff you have to pay attention to because it ultimately affects your taxes. Now, the General Assembly has gotten together already, and thankfully for years, they're finally going to do something that people have talked about for years, and that is try and eliminate at least some of these licensing fees for various professions. Now, I know there's always been a controversy as to, well, is the license fee or licensing fees, and I guess a lot of you listening out there, I don't have a license fee to do what I do. But as far as nurses, barbers, plumbers, I know you see the numbers on the trucks all the time, the qualification, CT license number, yada, 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 yada. Okay? But there's going to be a move to at least cut back or do away with those fees. Now, again, there's that old adage of, well, what are you doing the licensing fee for? Are you really worried about the quality of the work that somebody's doing? Are they going to have to take any continuing education, credits to make sure that the licensing fee is actually doing something? But again, there is a plan to save small businesses some money for licensing fees and various professions. So that's good. Now, the state budget deficit could reach $180 million for the current fiscal year. That's not horrible. Remember, it's $180 million for the current fiscal year and a, $28 billion budget. So that in and of itself, is not real bad. Now, negotiators wait, it says here, until the tax deadline of April 15th to ramp up discussions after they get a clear picture of the state's fiscal health. One thing they're going to try and push hard on here, prison reform and living facilities for people with disabilities. Two topics expected to be at the forefront, says here, on any discussion. It is, I find it amazing. And I'm not trying to, at least on Melissa's show here, be a jerk. I get paid to do that Monday through Friday from 2 to 6. But having said that, isn't it amazing? And maybe it's just the way it is. That despite the fact the state spends, I guess it's tickling now, $28 to $30 billion a year, and a lot of that's on state workers and all that. But isn't it amazing that we never seem to catch up on this stuff? And again, I'm not saying that funding for state prison reform is a bad thing, and living facilities for people with disabilities, doing all that, that's a bad thing. No. Anything but. Those are very important things. In fact, there is some stuff coming out now about the state prison system. You turn around and you look at it and you go, what? Really? I mean, that's happening with food and people dying in prison and prison fights and all that. Like, why aren't we doing more there? But it's amazing that we're always kind of, and maybe this is just what government does, I don't know. It's just amazing that we're always playing catch up on these sorts of things. So we'll see how that shakes out. Other stuff going on in Hartford again, and we've been talking about it on Melissa's show here. She's been doing great yeoman's work on this. I've tried to cover it, as best I can in the afternoon. You've got Lisa chatting about it, too. You've got some people on the weekends talking about it. This homeschooling bill, too. That's another thing that apparently has got to be hashed out in the upcoming 2 or 3 weeks. The House Speaker, Matt Ritter, saying something along the fact that, we're going to pass something. We're not sure what it is. Now, the proponents of this are saying, well, hey, maybe if we had something like a registry in shape, in place, I should say, there wouldn't have been at least 2 of those tragic deaths of people. Not deaths, I'm sorry. The one in New Britain was a death case. The other in Waterbury, an alleged case of home imprisonment. If we knew more about that with the registry, maybe yes, maybe no, whatever. So we'll see how that shakes out. All that and more, we'll keep an eye on it. Take your calls on it. By the way, if you want to jump in here or message me, 203-333-9422, 333-WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, we really do have some problems this morning, and they're focusing on 95 southbound as you pass Bridgeport. Yeah, you're going to see the west end backed up with a bunch of dead spots, slow on and off through Fairfield, almost to Southport. A few more slow spots beyond that, approaching Greens Farms and headed toward Norwalk, but nothing quite as bad. Earlier, we had a crash as well on the Merritt southbound. That's got things backed up starting around Plattsville and some pretty heavy spots all the way past Route 58 and through Murray in the Burr Street overpass. Beyond that, we're in pretty good shape trying to get to work on this Monday morning. Let's take it easy and get there in one piece. I'm Cruising Bruce with WICC Traffic.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Hey, it's Melissa for Stanford Health. Did you know that world-class cancer care is available right here in Fairfield County? That's because Stanford Health, recognized for expertise, leadership, and innovation in person-centered care, has joined forces with Dana-Farber Brigham Cancer Center, ranked number 3 nationally for cancer care. When it comes to cancer treatment, you and those who matter to you deserve expert, compassionate care close to home. Stanford Health and Dana-Farber Brigham Cancer Center, here for you where it matters most.
We all have the ability to make a difference, to come together, to change a life, to make a wish come true. By supporting Make-A-Wish Connecticut, you are bringing hope and joy to children fighting critical illnesses. Children like me. Visit ct.wish.org to learn how you can become a wishmaker and be part of a journey that changes lives. Just imagine what you can do. Visit ct.wish.org today to learn more. That's ct.wish.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet, for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge many of us don't think about. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to see one veteran with special needs one time per year. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
Your small business is your American dream. But don't go it alone. Get the mentorship and education you need with SCORE. For years, we've helped millions of entrepreneurs for free. Find a mentor at score.org.
WICC. WICC AM Bridgeport, WICC FM Southport, WEBE HD2 Westport, WPLR HD2 New Haven, locally owned by Connoisseur Media.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A new ray of hope in the Iran war, a day after President Trump sent Iran a profanity-laced ultimatum to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. There is a new plan on the table.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. Pakistan has reportedly delivered a peace proposal to the U.S. and Iran that could see hostilities cease as early as today, if the two sides agree. The plan calls for an immediate ceasefire and the subsequent reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, followed by a 15 to 20-day negotiating period. Reuters reports both sides were sent the proposal overnight.
In his social media post, the president threatened to hit Iran's power plants and bridges, warning, quote, "You'll be living in hell. Just watch." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is congratulating U.S. forces after a missing fighter jet pilot was plucked from the mountain crevice where he'd been hiding since his plane was downed in Iran on Friday.
All Israelis rejoice in the incredible rescue of a brave American pilot by America's dauntless warriors. We know what a bold decision you took.
The CIA staged a deception campaign to fool Iran into thinking the pilot had already been rescued. The war is still jacking up fuel prices. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
In Europe, where I am right now, The airlines are adding a $50 to $200 surcharge on every single ticket that they're selling. In the U.S., ticket prices are expected to rise, and they're already starting to do that, between 7 and 20%, not just this week, but for the foreseeable future.
A gallon of gas up to a nationwide average of $4.12 a gallon. Early today, the 4 Artemis II astronauts entered the pull of Moon's gravity, not Earth's, and hunkered down for the main event. Commander Reed Wiseman.
It's just like we're a bunch of little kids up here. We cannot get enough of this. It's amazing. Thank you for the privilege.
CBS's Mark Strassman is at the Johnson Space Center in Houston.
The Orion capsule will loop around the moon's far side, setting a new distance record from Earth. For a time, NASA will lose all communication with the crew. 40 minutes of radio silence.
A first in college basketball.
UCLA is back on top!
The UCLA women have won their first ever national championship. The Bruins routed South Carolina 79-51 in yesterday's title game on ESPN. Coach Corey Close.
I said I wanted to find uncommon, courageous women that were willing to make uncommon choices that maybe possibly could yield an uncommon result. And today it did.
Michigan faces Connecticut tonight in the men's championship final. Dow futures down 74. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Construction is nearly complete at the waterfront apartment complex at Steel Point Harbor in Bridgeport, and the building is set to open at the beginning of summer. The complex has been named The August and will feature units ranging from studio apartments to massive 3-bedroom rentals. Rent prices for the larger units exceed $9,000 per month, with the studio spaces being listed at $1,965 per month. The complex will also include many amenities, including a saltwater pool, a gym, pickleball courts, and outdoor grill areas. One person is injured following a crash in Oxford. The crash took place last week when a Subaru Forester collided with a utility pole in the 500 block of Roosevelt Drive. Bystanders helped the 57-year-old man from the vehicle, but he ran into the road where he was struck by another car. The victim was taken to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A promotion at Jordan's Furniture to provide free items nearly came to fruition. If both the UConn men's and women's basketball teams had made the national championship game, the company was going to provide full rebates to customers who purchased items from January 20th through March 1st. While the UConn men advanced with a win over Illinois on Saturday, the women's team was upset by South Carolina in the semifinals on Friday, as executives with Jordan's breathed a sigh of relief. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Thank you, John. Brought to you this time round by the fine folks at Courtesy Carpet Flooring Design Center. Hey, now is the time for a fresh new look for your home. Save on top flooring brands at Courtesy Carpet. Hey, no big box gimmicks, just fair, honest prices. Courtesy Carpet, Route 111 in Monroe.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, we still have trouble on 95 southbound, although it has eased a little. These problems start somewhere around the west end of Bridgeport, and then will continue all the way through Fairfield. You'll get a break for a while, but then the slow spots pick up again in Southport, and we have some problems all the way down toward Sherwood Island State Park and beyond. Our other problem of the morning is the remnants of a crash on the Merritt southbound. Now, the crash actually happened somewhere near Plattsville, but currently the backups don't start until about a half a mile later and continue really tough across the Route 58 interchange and all the way to Murray. They then ease out after that. Otherwise, we're in good shape with the exception of a crash in West Haven on 95 southbound that's backing things up somewhere in the area of Milloy Road. But other than that, you should be okay for your Monday's drive in with WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Hi, I'm Lori Molnar, Director of Development at the Bridgeport Rescue Mission. I'd like to invite you to our Inspiring Hope Luncheon on May 7th from 12 to 2 p.m. at the Patterson Club in Fairfield. Join us to support the mission's vital work, providing housing, hunger relief, health care, and recovery services to those in need. Our keynote speaker, NBA legend Chris Herron, will share his powerful story of resilience, recovery, and transformation. Together we can make a difference. Reserve your seat or sponsor a table today at bridgeportrescuemission.org.
Need roofing, vinyl siding, gutters, or chimney repairs? Hi, I'm Eddie Griffin, the owner of Brown Roofing, your local roofing expert since 1972. From cracked shingles to leaky chimneys, our certified technicians handle it all. We don't just install, we fortify your home for decades of protection. And right now, you can get zero interest, zero payments for 24 months. Call today at 475-445-1195 or visit us at brownroofing600.com. Brown won't let you down.
Center Stage Theater in Shelton brings the dynamic musical review Jerry's Girls to its stage April 10th through 19th. Featuring a talented cast of 3 women, the music of Jerry Herman from Broadway classics Hello Dolly, Mame, La Cage aux Folles, and Mac and Mabel is brought to life. This show is a romp through the magic of Herman's classics. Enjoy high-quality entertainment close to home at one of Connecticut's most beloved community theaters. Visit centerstagetheater.org for tickets and more about the 2026 season.
This is where Monroe starts the day. Melissa in the morning on WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut.
All right, good to have you with us here. How are you? How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's hour number 3 of the daily 5-hour Melissa in the morning get-together right here at WICC 600 AM, 95.9 FM, and, of course, online, voiceofct.com. I'm streaming this morning. Got the video cranked up. Good morning. If you're watching on YouTube, we're live on YouTube and live on twitch.tv. 203-333-9422. 333-WICC. Boy, how about that new, as my father used to say, one of his favorite words, a joint. It was an all-encompassing word. That new joint people can live in, or that new hamburger joint. Hey, did you see the new Italian food joint over there? Okay, Dad. The new joint where people can live in. The brand new Bridgeport waterfront apartment complex set to open sometime this summer. It's called the August. John just had this in his news. The August at Steel Point Harbor, set to open to the public at the start of the summer. The rents there, and listen, God bless the developers. God bless the people that can pay this. God bless America. The rents are as high as $10,000 a month. $120K a year. Now, what's the ratio here? What is it you're supposed to spend? Because when you apply for a mortgage, right, or you look into renting, what do the financial gurus say? Can I be a guru someday? What do the financial gurus say? You're not supposed to spend more than 1/3 of your gross income on a rental or on a rent or a mortgage. Okay. So I guess if you're going to pay, and again, the place looks absolutely beautiful, right on the water. Oh, but $10,000. for some of the. And now that's not what they all cost. I get that. Units of up to nearly $10,000. The August at Steel Point. I guess the July and the September were taken up. So if you're paying $30,000 a month for rental and you want to be comfortable, if you use that 30% rule, right? Well, if you're paying $10,000 a month, and that's 30% of your monthly income, then you're probably making, $30,000-$40,000 a month. Maybe you're making $300,000-$400,000 a year. Okay. A very successful surgeon or a very successful physician or a very successful sports person or something like that, or an entrepreneur who's doing very well. So good on them. It is a 4-story, 420-unit apartment complex on the water, 55 East Main Street. You see it when you drive by or from 95 or whatever. Now, a studio, which is 447 square feet, that's usually what a studio is. Studios generally range into the upper threes. I've seen studios for 380 square feet, 400, and about 450. Once you start tickling, I guess, 500 square feet, it may not be conceivable or fathomable for the developer or the people who's going to be renting there to actually go anything beyond about 500 square feet. So it's a 447 square foot studio for $1,965 a month. A 3-bedroom unit would be $9,000 a month. Now that's 1,830 square feet. So again, that's most houses aren't it. Man, I got to get a tour of that place when it opens. How about that? That's a lot to clean, right? If you're Italian, don't you think? Did your parents ever say to you, when you were either buying something that could, this is going to be expensive to fix? Or when mom and dad or maybe somebody in your family saw, the nice house or condo you were buying or whatever, and they said, there's a lot to clean. Yeah, don't worry, I'll clean it. It's okay. I see it. Memory of my father. Folks, I swear, Dad, I hope you don't mind me telling this. This is a true story. My first new car that I bought, I'd had a couple of used cars beforehand. My first new car was a 1986 Mazda 323. Loaded car, nice little car, handled real well, little underpowered, but what the heck, right? And I figure, I'm still not married, still living at home, no credit card debt, whatever, so I'm going to spend a little bit more because it was like that was the big thing for me, right? So I think out the door the car was like $7,000 or $6,000 or $8,000, whatever. So I bought it over mom and dad's house, and we're looking at it, and dad is only an Italian father could do. Is leaning in from the opposite window. So in other words, I'm in the driver's seat. He's leaning in. I lowered the window. And he's leaning in and he's looking around. He goes, oh, nice, not too bad. Nice seats, nice and roomy. But he realized that I didn't have to crank the window down because I preferred, back in the year of 1986, year of our Lord, who wants manual crank windows anymore? So he looked at me, he goes, oh, you had to get it, didn't you? And I'm like, what, Dad, what? The power windows. You had to get it came on a car. It's part of a package. I like it. You know, as only an Italian father can say, they're gonna break. Right? How many of us had parents or whatever who, you know, with all the love in their hearts, the first thing they told you was, it's gonna break. Dad, don't worry. If it breaks, I'll fix it. Traffic and weather together right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, things are still bunching up on 95 southbound. The problems start around the Black Rock section and are on and off through Fairfield and almost all the way to Norwalk. A brief break, but then you'll get more traffic trouble from where 7 comes into 95, southbound on 95 all the way to Darien. We've also had some scattered slow spots on the Merritt heading south toward New York City. Earlier problems approaching Route 58 and onto Murray have eased a bit, but now it's heavier downstream as you head toward the Easton Road overpass. Only other concerns so far this morning have been a few problems on 95 South through New Haven because of a couple of earlier crashes. As we get through that area, though, you're going to find things are flowing pretty freely once again. That's good news. With WICC Traffic, I'm Cruising Bruce.
Good morning. You won't want to manually roll down the windows this morning. We have a nip in the... Oh, my goodness, I'll tell you.
Okay.
You know, I love that, by the way, Paul.
Yeah.
I love rolling down the windows.
You
know,
do.
When I was at News 12,
Yeah.
about maybe 15 years ago,
Yeah.
I received an email from the news director who said, don't ever say roll down the windows again on the air.
It may because it was old sounding. I get it.
Old school,
I
right?
get it.
Yep.
All right, Paul.
Right.
Go right ahead. I'm sorry I laughed. Go ahead.
All right, push the button instead of rolling down the windows, if you can find the button, I may add. Right now it is 38 degrees in Bridgeport. We have a nip in the air. Our dew point is 30. We have a wind gusting out of the northwest, and it will be a blustery day later this afternoon under a fair amount of the sun. Right now we are seeing a little bit of gray in the sky, but that will give way to the sun by mid-morning. By midday and early afternoon, we'll be nearing lower 50s the afternoon high with that wind gusting out of the northwest. There may be a shower or two later this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Tomorrow, a fair amount of the sun with a high near 50s, so cool air for the beginning of the week. By midweek on Wednesday, sunny with a high in the upper 40s, and then we moderate into the 50s and the 60s by later in the week with no rain on the way. Right now we're at 38 in Bridgeport. Our dew point is down to 30. We'll shoot for a high in the lower 50s later this afternoon under a fair amount of the sun. I'm meteorologist Paul Pioric on WICC.
This spring, all of us at WICC are here to bring you the live and local news you need daily. Melissa in the Morning wakes you up at 5 for Connecticut news updates and exclusive interviews. The Lisa Wexler Show starts at 10, where Lisa speaks her mind and wants to hear what's on yours. The latest local news headlines continue at noon on the Download with John and Chris. Connecticut Today with Paul Pacelli is live at 2 for the latest on your ride home. We're live and local all day, every day on the Voice of Connecticut. WICC 600 and 95.9. WICC 600 and 95.9. The Voice of Connecticut for 100 years.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. At, let's see, 7:20, almost 7:21, 2-0-3, 333-9422, 333 WICC. 203-333-9422, 333 WICC. Don't forget our Facebook page, Voice of CT, facebook.com/Voice of CT, and the email up and running as well, Paul, P-A-U-L, Paul, at Voice of CT. Just to continue and conclude on this new complex here, John's had the story. It's covered. Good story today. By Andreas Yilma in the Connecticut Insider. So some of these 3-bedrooms apartments at the August in Bridgeport going to be going for around $10,000 a month. Now, this is interesting. Now, a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. They've got a few of these big ones. They're 1,800 square feet. Good God. I mean, bless people who can do that. That's nice. That's a nice, and you don't have a lawn, and you've got parking. Oh, isn't that nice? Current average market rate in the state for a 3-bedroom with an average size of 1,295 square feet is about 2,800 and change, 2,900. That's about right. I've seen that. Is that what you're seeing in your area? The current average market rate for a 3-bedroom unit in the state, 1,295 square feet, is $2,900, $2,869 or more. An average 3-bedroom with 1,000 square feet, that'd be kind of, well, not really. I have a 2-bedroom and my place is 1,100, I think, something like that, 1,000. That's about right. In the state of New York is roughly $5,256. Yeah, that's what my son and one of his old roommates was paying. On the upper, now I was on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. I know that, but he was paying about $5,300 or something like that. The base average for a market rate rental in Bridgeport is, Bridgeport is a very hot housing and rental market. I know a lot of people say, oh, Bridgeport, yes. According to Zillow, the base average for a market rate rental in Bridgeport, a little over $2,000. RCI Group has transformed the city's Steel Point Harbor Peninsula into a mixed-use waterfront district that will include a marina and retail businesses. So good on these people, good on RCI, good on the city of Bridgeport, and good for people that can afford that. Man, that 3-bedroom, that 3-bedroom, 1,830 square feet. Wow. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. And listen, there will always be, there's always going to be a market for that sort of thing, right? We get that. We understand that. But it's that, and I'm not just talking about this building here, but all the other buildings in the area and the market. You look at a new building, and I've had people who have said this to me. I say, hey, I'm looking for a place to live, all right, blah, 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 blah. And think about this relationship. And if there's anybody in the real estate business out there, if there's anybody who buys and sells homes, and also, I don't know, do apartment agents exist anymore? Because a couple of times I had to find an apartment in college, we used a listing agent. We used an agent. Do apartment, I mean, obviously people buy and sell stuff. I get that with the, traditional stuff there. But do apartment agents even exist anymore? But anyway, my point is, the bottom end of this, where, for example, in this unit here, the August at Steel Point, we're talking about a 447 square foot studio unit, right? For $1,965. You know what? That's probably a very nice unit. It's not tiny. Almost 500 square feet is, quite livable if you lay it out right. And I don't know if you have a Murphy bed in there, the fold-away. You can do a myriad of things there. But again, on the lower end, does somebody look at that, whether it's in Bridgeport or Hartford or New Haven or whatever, does somebody look at that and say, hey, for almost $2,000, I can get a mortgage? And I wonder if there's any real professional out there that deals in this stuff every day. What is the effect there when you're trying to sell homes and somebody says, well, I don't want a house, I don't want the upkeep and the maintenance or whatever, but then you're looking at this and it's almost $2,000 for a 450 square foot building here? Interesting. Traffic and weather together coming up right here, right now on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
Well, things are still bunching up on 95 southbound. The problems start around the Black Rock section and are on and off through Fairfield and almost all the way to Norwalk. A brief break, but then you'll get more traffic trouble from where 7 comes into 95, southbound on 95 all the way to Darien. We've also had some scattered slow spots on the Merritt heading south toward New York City. Earlier problems approaching Route 58 and onto Murray have eased a bit, but now it's heavier downstream as you head toward the Easton Road overpass. Only other concerns so far this morning have been a few problems on 95 South through New Haven because of a couple of earlier crashes. As we get through that area, though, you're going to find things are flowing pretty freely once again. That's good news. With WICC traffic, I'm Cruz and Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Pioric on WICC.
Discover peace of mind with Connecticut In-Home Assistance, where their dedicated team offers exceptional non-medical homemaker and companion services. Whether you or a loved one needs a helping hand around the house or just a friendly face to brighten the day, they've got services tailored to foster comfort and independence, allowing you to enjoy your home while getting the assistance you need. From light housekeeping and meal prep to companionship and errands, their compassionate caregivers are committed to enhancing your quality of life. Experience the difference that personalized care can make. Visit cthomecare.com to learn more about their trusted services and how they can make you or a loved one thrive at home. Choose Connecticut In-Home Assistance because every day should be filled with ease and dignity. Visit cthomecare.com to learn more or call them to schedule a free assessment with my friend Brian at 855-412-CARE. Connecticut In-Home Assistance is licensed with the Department of Consumer Protection HCA 137. Connecticut In-Home Assistance solely provides non-medical care.
Let's be honest, most of us spend a lot of time thinking about retirement, but not so much actually preparing for it. Each week, David Gagnon, he's the host of Mastering Your Wealth. He discusses the financial news of the day and explains how it could affect you as you get ready for retirement. Join David Saturday mornings at 8 for Mastering Your Wealth Radio right here on WICC 600. You can also visit masteringyourwealthradio.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. New taunts and demands, one including vulgar language from President Trump to Iran.
Giving the regime until Tuesday to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face a massive attack on the country's power plants and bridges. An Iranian official dismissed the demands, calling President Trump a, quote, unstable, delusional figure.
CBS's Jesse Mitchell. Pakistan has just presented a two-tier framework for ending hostilities, calls for an immediate ceasefire. For now, airfares are going up. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
In the U.S., ticket prices are starting to rise between 7 and 20% for the foreseeable future.
Gas prices today, an average $4.12 a gallon in the U.S. The Artemis II crew is set to get a close-up of the far side of the moon today. Commander Reed Wiseman.
The four of us have looked at this moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we are seeing out the window is, it's just like we're a bunch of little kids up here. Just, we cannot get enough of this. It's amazing.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Governor Ned Lamont and top legislators have 4 weeks to agree on a budget plan. The only agreement so far has come on a tax cut plan that's expected to save small businesses on licensing fees for various professions. This comes as estimators say the state budget deficit could reach $180 million for the fiscal year. Negotiators typically wait until the April 15th tax deadline to ramp up discussions after they get a clearer picture of the state's fiscal health. Funding for state prison reform and living facilities for people with disabilities are two topics expected to be at the forefront of many discussions. Connecticut gubernatorial candidate Betsy McCoy is pledging to end the state income tax if she's elected this coming November. The former New York lieutenant governor is one of 3 candidates running for the Republican nomination for governor, alongside former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart and State Senator Ryan Fazio. In a conversation with News 8, McCoy said that her proposal to eliminate the income tax would be a gradual one and pointed to examples in other states for how to accomplish it.
The naysayers say, well, there'll be a huge hole in the state budget. The income tax currently provides half the revenue. We're not blowing a hole in the state budget. This is a fiscally responsible, gradual way. The bill says in each of these states, when revenue increases by 5%, the lawmakers are legally bound to use that new money to reduce the income tax step by step rather than spending it on new programs, new spending. And that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do in Connecticut.
She went on to say that the total elimination of the tax would take approximately 5 years. A Southern Connecticut State University student is reportedly being detained by ICE. In a statement, the university's interim president, Sandy Bulmer, said the incident happened off campus. She said the school is working to get more information while respecting the privacy of the student involved. Bulmer also said that there's been no evidence of ICE activity on the SCSU campus. Police are investigating a homicide in Stratford that happened this past Saturday. Officers were called to a disturbance on Woodstock Avenue. When they arrived, they discovered that the disturbance had upgraded to a homicide. Police say there is no threat to the public, and the incident is still under investigation. A diner in East Haven gave out over 200 meals for Easter yesterday. Twin Pines Diner first began giving out Thanksgiving meals during the pandemic, but after an overwhelming response from the community, owner Jim Triantis decided to start doing it on Easter as well. The meals are available to veterans, seniors, or anyone else who needs a free meal. Recipients had their choice of either Virginia ham or roasted turkey. And UConn will have experience on their side against Michigan in the NCAA championship game tonight. While the Huskies are considered underdogs, they still boast one of the winningest players of all time in Alex Karaban. Karaban has been part of 2 national championship teams already in 2023 and 24, and he'd be the only player ever to win a third besides those on the UCLA teams that won 10 national championships in the 60s and 70s. The win would also cement head coach Dan Hurley's legacy as one of the most successful coaches of all time. Hurley says it's a great opportunity to make the people of Connecticut proud. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Sponsored, thank you, John, this time around by the fine folks at Kitchen Corner in Fairfield. Visit Kitchen Corner in Fairfield, the headquarters for your cooking needs and entertaining essentials, offering expert knife sharpening too. 203-374-1118, 203-374-1118, or kitchen-corner.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, we've got our problems as you take 95 this morning, although they've moved out of the Bridgeport area where they were earlier. Now we'll see slow go approaching Saugatuck and especially toward Norwalk, where Route 7 comes in at 95 southbound. More 95 southbound problems start after Glenbrook, and they're pretty heavy. Those spots are through Stamford before it finally eases out for good toward Coscow. We've had problems on the Merritt southbound as well. These seem to be centering now around Coleytown. The worst of it over the Eastern Road overpass. It eases up by the time you hit Poplar Plains. One more thing to worry about is Bridgeport. Route 8 southbound coming into downtown is particularly heavy, and it doesn't clear out until you hit the 95 interchange. Beyond that, we're getting there. With WICC traffic, I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Shopping Anyway connects those who ask, how can I help? With those who say, here's what we need. Hi, I'm Christina Preet, lifelong Connecticut resident and founder of the free mobile app Shopping Anyway. Always know what your favorite cause needs. Download the app at shoppinganyway.com. And nonprofits, please join us on Thursday, April 30th from 8 to 10 a.m. at our host, Connoisseur Media in Milford, for a free event, Stronger Together, a nonprofit resource open house. Register at brbc.org or milfordct.com. Shopping Anyway, because a lot of people helping a little helps a lot.
Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven is part of a trusted integrated network, offering comprehensive dental services from A to Z, all in one convenient location. From routine cleanings to advanced procedures, their expert team is ready to care for your smile. Call Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven today at 203-299-0111 or visit columbiadental.com. Complete dental care all under one roof.
In the real estate ecosystem, trust and transparency create harmony. But one elusive species disrupts this balance: the rogue agent. Their secrecy with off-market listings leave home buyers confused, frustrated, and inventory-starved. And that's bad news for sellers too. With Smart MLS, over 20,000 realtors unite, creating more demand, offers, and better results. Ask your agent if your home is on Smart MLS.
Need the perfect flowers for any occasion? Trust Cityline Florists, Trumbull's local florist for 108 years and 4 generations. From birthdays to anniversaries to celebrations or just because, Cityline Florists delivers stunning high-quality flowers same day, anywhere in the country. Stop by their beautiful gift shop and greenhouse at 2978 Nichols Ave, Trumbull, or order online at citylineflorist.com. Cityline Florists, making life's moments bloom since 1918.
She's got all the news you need before anyone else. Back to Melissa in the Morning on WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Hey there, good morning, good morning, good morning. You and I chatting it up together. It's Paul Pacelli in for the award-winning Melissa Sheketov on the award-winning Melissa in the Morning program right here on WICC. Great to have you with us. Open phones if you want to get in and call or communicate with us in other ways. Also on the email front as well. Paul, P-A-U-L, Paul at voiceofct.com. You've heard about it in the news over the past couple of days. Gas prices in Connecticut keep on rising because of what is obviously going on in the Middle East. Now, as I look at our friends at AAA right now, the national average for a gallon of regular self-serve gas nationally is 411.9. In Connecticut, we are slightly less than that, although it's the 2 or 3 cents, not going to make a big difference. $4.08. 408 is the average here in Connecticut. And it wasn't too long ago that it was, in the high $2. Now, a year ago, because we're into the Iran war thing, what now, 4 or 5 weeks? So you're past looking back a month here, which is when a lot of the adjustments are made. So a year ago, it was a little on the expensive side a year ago here in Connecticut. So last year at this time, we were paying $3.10 a gallon. So this year now we are paying $4.09, roughly from a year-to-year basis. On a year-to-year basis, it is about $1. And on a basis of now pre the Iran war here, That was in what, the high $2, right? 2 something we were seeing. So listen, it's over $1. So if you base this, I think the average tank on the average mid-size car, I think I read, and this is how I base it when I talk about this on the afternoon show. You base it on 12 gallons. So that means that the war is now. However you fall politically, it's not saying one side or the other is right here. When I say the war, what's ever going on in the Middle East here, whether you approve or disapprove, or maybe you're someplace or someone in the middle, it's costing you about $1 a gallon more at the gas pump. You may say that's okay. You may say I can't stand it, whatever. So if you fill up once a week and you have a 12-gallon tank, that's easy math. Even I can do. That's, $12 a week more. If you fill up once a week, some people, with families, or if they use their vehicle, if they have a combination registration or a commercial plate, or they're doing, other vehicles for the business here, that's even more. That can be twice. That can be an extra $24 a week. But even if it's one fill up a week, which I guess is what most people do, right? One fill up a week. That's an extra $12 a week. Multiply that by 50 weeks, assuming you take vacation. Maybe you're not driving. But 50 weeks, that's easy math. That's $600 a year. The equivalent thereof. Costs a lot of votes there from a political point of view. 203-333-9422. 333-WICC. I mean, if it goes this way for another 6 or 8 months, are more people going to want to ask to work from home? Are we going to go back to the COVID mentality here? Maybe, I don't know. Now, you folks who use diesel and a lot of construction stuff, a lot of commercial vehicles run on diesel, trucks, whatever. And that cost always gets sent back to the consumer. Diesel right now is tickling $6 a gallon. Whereas a month ago it was $4.44 a gallon. So diesel is now $5.91.8. So $5.92 a gallon. And listen, you know how much of the nation's foodstuffs and supplies and all that are trucked? I don't have to tell you this. How many of you folks right now are driving diesel vehicles? So diesel on average from a month ago is up $1.50. And get this, diesel a year ago, diesel is up $2 plus a gallon from a year ago. It was $3.83 back 1 year ago on the 6th of April, 2026, and now we're sitting at $5.91. The thing there's something you have to remember about this. And again, this is not political necessarily. This is not pro-Trump, anti-Trump. This is not the left or the right. This is not D or an R, blue or red. It's a fact that's interesting about this. I've had a couple of experts on the afternoon show tell me, and I've actually read this too, that yes, gasoline prices are going up, but we actually, and I was pleased to hear this, although a lot of people have known this for a while, we give or take a percent or two or either way. I've been told by a couple of experts that we actually here in the continental U.S., we produce enough oil, we pump enough oil to meet our own needs and even export. We don't import for our daily need, which is about 20 million barrels a day we use here in the U.S. We're good with what we produce. The reason your gasoline prices are going up, it's the big gas and oil companies hedging their bets about the supplies that they rely on outside of the U.S. So when you're pumping gas at your favorite convenience store and getting that coffee and that bag of chips and whatever, understand the higher prices you're seeing, and man, oh man, it's like a slot machine now. But the higher prices you're seeing are not because of a need here in the U.S. It's a need in other countries. Traffic and weather together right here, WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Couple of problem spots as we get in on this Monday morning. The first, I draw your attention to 95 southbound. Problems start just past Sherwood Island State Park, and they'll continue on and off. Pretty heavy through the Route 7 interchange there in Norwalk and on to Darien. And then more problems, pretty substantial ones, as you travel 95 south through Stamford and almost all the way to Coscob. Another problem we've got is Route 8. Coming through downtown Bridgeport. It's slow and stopped in a couple of spots as you approach the 95 interchange. We've also had scattered slow spots all the way along the Merritt southbound. The problems start around the Route 58 interchange, continue tough through Murray and all the way down beyond Easton Road and almost to Poplar Plains. Trying to get you to work on a Monday morning, I'm Cruising Bruce with WICC Traffic.
Good morning. Right now, we're getting brighter with more in the way of sun, but we have a little bit of a nip in the air. Right now in Bridgeport, we're at 40 degrees. Our dew point is 30. We do have a west wind gusting in the morning, and it will be on the blustery side during the afternoon, but there will be a fair amount of sun. Today, sunny with a high in the low 50s. The breeze will be out of the west. Overnight, generally fair. Maybe a shower or two late with a low in the mid-30s. Tomorrow is sunny with a high only near 50. By midweek on Wednesday, more sun with a high in the upper 40s, and that we moderate by the end of the week and get warmer. We'll be in the 50s to near 60 by Friday, and then over the weekend, fair with a high in the 60s to near 70 each afternoon. Right now, we're at 40 in Bridgeport, lower 50s this afternoon under a fair amount of sun. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Back to the news and talk. Thanks to Smart MLS. Smart sellers ask, is my home on Smart MLS? The voice of Connecticut. WICC 695.9. It's Melissa in the morning.
Hey there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? We're at 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Paul and for Melissa here on the Melissa in the Morning program, sitting in for, we love getting a chance to do this. Get up a little earlier than I usually do, but that's fine. Oil. Pardon me, I had a sneeze. And I'm guessing you don't want me sneezing in tu voce. You don't want me sitting in, sneezing in your face there, do you? I am looking at the, and this is fascinating. You should take a look. Now, you're going to say to yourself, Paul, why the heck do I want to take a look at this? Because it's going to give me agita. All right, but I'm saying if you just go to your, favorite search engine there, and you type in oil prices, the first thing comes up is a live market summary thing. And it literally, these are the oil futures market. And there are certain numbers you look for in the market. And the number that I always talk about in the afternoon that, again, was given to me as something you should always look for, $75. That apparently $75. We're talking about a barrel, not a gallon, although who knows, it might get there. $75 a barrel is the mark you have to look for. anything below 75 is considered, okay, good. If you get, pre-war, when the economy chugs along, oil's about $50-$55 a barrel, whatever. You see that, you hear it on the financial reports here at WICC. You say, well, okay, that means my heating oil, orders are gonna be okay. But then when it gets above 75, that's all O territory. That means your heating oil is going to be more expensive, and your other stuff that, gasoline and all that. So as I look right now, just to give you an idea, $75 is supposed to be what we call the O point here. It's right now $109 and change. So there you go. And if you got into the market today, so in other words, they look at the graph from, I guess, the beginning of the trading day internationally, you would have lost about 1.25%. But hey, that's the futures. Okay, 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Little news, I guess, regarding UConn and the game tonight, Solo Ball. Solomon Ball, but he goes by Solo. Solo apparently is in what they say he's in a walking boot. And I guess he's going to be a game time decision tonight. Apparently suffered some sort of a sprain. And that's maybe why you didn't see too much of him late in the game the other day on Saturday. So Solo Ball, supposedly he's in a medical boot after suffering a foot sprain in the Final Four. Dan Hurley saying on Sunday the shooting guard suffered, quote, some type of a foot sprain. Okay. He sprained there's some type of a foot sprain. The UConn medical staff will evaluate Ball ahead of the game tonight against Michigan. Now, they asked Ball about this, whether he, when he heard it, when he may have heard it. He said, quote, I got through it with adrenaline, but it happened in the first half. I think my foot got caught with Taris Reed on a screen, and it kind of just happened, Ball said. But again, quoting, I'm feeling all right now, just leaving it up to the medical staff to do everything I can to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, meaning tonight. That's what he was referring to. Hurley was asked directly if Solo Ball is going to play tonight. I don't know, Hurley said. They, the medical staff and the general manager, Tom Moore, they alerted everybody. I saw him in the boot first, and they told me, but I couldn't tell. We'll know more as we get later in the day. All right, sprains a foot. You and I sprained a foot. I'm limping along for 2 weeks. Right? And these guys are getting it wrapped and getting shots and taping up the foot and all of that. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. So again, this might not affect your office pool. People still do those office pools. Hey, Eric, did we do we did one here? We did. Eric, the producer.
Yeah,
giving me the
bracket challenge.
Okay. Do we know who might still be alive in that? Do we have any idea who's gonna? I probably shouldn't say that. I guess.
I did it, so I know exactly who's still in the running.
Without saying a name, is it an air personality?
There's at least one air personality.
And the other person may be somebody in front office support or sales?
From what I remember, I think it was one or two on air, one sales. I'm opening it up now. Let's see.
Okay. We don't need names here.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just from the...
Yeah, we don't want to...
No, let's see.
Yeah.
Top person right now is a salesperson.
Okay, that figures.
Don't know that one.
Yeah.
On air, sales.
Yeah.
Sales,
okay.
On air, me.
All right.
Sales, the top 10 is basically like 3 on air.
So is this thing going to? So let me ask you this: a little intrigue here into the office pool here at Connoisseur. So, could the person? How should I put this? So, is this still up in the air about who might actually win heading into tonight?
Honestly, the top person. The next person ahead had Arizona, and the next person behind number 1 had Arizona winning, which no.
Okay,
there is a chance someone could knock off the top person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Duke.
Well, it's always a good day in America when Duke loses. Yeah. Traffic and weather together right here on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Couple of problem spots as we get in on this Monday morning. The first, I draw your attention to 95 southbound. Problems start just past Sherwin Island State Park, and they'll continue on and off. Pretty heavy through the Route 7 interchange there in Norwalk and on to Darien. And then more problems, pretty substantial ones, as you travel 95 south through Stamford and almost all the way to Coscob. Another problem we've got is Route 8. Coming through downtown Bridgeport. It's slow and stopped in a couple of spots as you approach the 95 interchange. We've also had scattered slow spots all the way along the Merritt southbound. The problems start around the Route 58 interchange, continue tough through Murray and all the way down beyond Easton Road and almost to Poplar Plains. Trying to get you to work on a Monday morning, I'm Cruising Bruce with WICC Traffic.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or 2 and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Pioric on WICC.
Many tire dealers will sell you Falcon tires, but Town Fair Tire doesn't just sell Falcon tires, they sell them at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, they give you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. That's an unbeatable deal only Town Fair Tire can offer, because Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hi, I'm Peter from Donut Delight. Donut Delight has used Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning since 1994. From installing plumbing in our new stores to maintaining our existing stores and our personal homes. Their guys have always been very professional and great to work with. Donut Delight has been very happy with Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Looking for a reliable plumbing or HVAC company? Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and AC has proven customer satisfaction since 1974. Go to BassoPHAC.com. That's BassoPHAC.com.
Ever notice that feeling your worst also seems to happen at the worst time in the worst places? Like sudden nausea at 9 p.m. when you're out of town. Really? Now? Fortunately, with Hartford Healthcare's HHC 24/7 app, you can get answers, diagnosis, prescriptions, even speak live with clinicians anytime, anywhere. So maybe there's never a good time to be sick, but at least the best care's always there. Download the app at your app store or hhc247.org.
Dan Hicks with Paul Azinger, welcoming you back to the Healthy Stand Classic. This is absolutely critical. Notice how she's using broad spectrum sunscreen.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
You're listening to WICC. WICC AM Bridgeport, WICC FM Southport, WEBE HD2 Westport, WPLR HD2 New Haven, locally owned by Connoisseur Media.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A Trump administration official says the president has not signed off on a new peace proposal from Pakistan calling for a ceasefire in the Iran war. It comes a day after Mr. Trump issued an ultimatum for reopening the Strait of Hormuz by 8 p.m. tomorrow. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports from Tel Aviv.
The foreign ministry spokesman poured cold water on the idea, saying a ceasefire creates a pause to strengthen forces for what he called new crimes, and that no sane person would do this. The deputy foreign minister also specifically said that President Trump's threat to strike bridges and power plants would constitute a war crime.
Israel's military is confirming it's killed the leader of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's undercover unit in its Quds force. We now have details on the wounded F-16 fighter jet pilot rescued in Iran. Correspondent Charlie Daggett is at the foreign desk.
That second crew member reportedly hiked up a 7,000-foot peak and took cover inside a crevice. He was reserving the use of his beacon so he wouldn't give his position away to Iranian forces.
The first pilot was rescued Friday, hours after their aircraft was shot down. The Artemis II crew is set to go farther into space than any humans have when they loop around the moon this afternoon.
Artemis II will be several thousand miles away from the moon, but that works for geologist Kelsey Young, the flight science lead in mission control.
They'll be able to see processes that span the entire hemisphere or even entire far side of the moon. Impact craters, for example, can toss material hundreds, if not thousands of kilometers, and we have evidence of craters in the northern hemisphere of the moon shedding material all the way down into the South Polar region.
Each astronaut gets a window, and they'll be shooting as many photos as possible to bring back for Young and her team. Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
CBS's Camila Montoya Galvez traveled to Minneapolis to speak with Liam Conejo, the little boy detained by ICE agents more than 2 months ago.
What are you scared about the most?
Immigration.
Immigration. ICE.
He and his father were taken into custody and held until a judge ordered their release. The Trump administration is still trying to have them deported. The UCLA women have won the NCAA championship for the first time ever with a 79-51 win over the University of South Carolina. Gabriela Jaquez led with the points on ABC.
I knew we were going to do it. Coming to UCLA, we all set out for a goal, and I imagined this moment. I imagined it so many times, and I'm just so proud.
This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
WICC 695.9. Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Construction is nearly complete at the waterfront apartment complex at Steel Point Harbor in Bridgeport, and the building is set to open at the beginning of summer. The complex has been named the August and will feature units ranging from studio apartments to massive 3-bedroom rentals. Rent prices for the larger units exceed $9,000 per month, with the studio spaces being listed at $1,965 per month. The complex will also include many amenities, including a saltwater pool, a gym, pickleball courts, and outdoor grill areas. One person is injured following a crash in Oxford. The crash took place last week when a Subaru Forester collided with a utility pole in the 500 block of Roosevelt Drive. Bystanders helped the 57-year-old man from the vehicle, but he ran into the road where he was struck by another car. The victim was taken to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A promotion at Jordan's Furniture to provide free items nearly came to fruition. If both the UConn men's and women's basketball teams had made the national championship game, the company was going to provide full rebates to customers who purchased items from January 20th through March 1st. While the UConn men advanced with a win over Illinois on Saturday, the women's team was upset by South Carolina in the semifinals on Friday, as executives with Jordan's breathed a sigh of relief. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
All right, thank you, John. John's News this time around right here on the award-winning Melissa in the Morning program is brought to you by the fine folks and our friends at Bridgelight Financial. And we should tell you that Bridgelight Financial Advisors can help you reduce taxes you pay on your retirement income and keep the money you've saved. You can do that with Bridgelight Financial Advisors tax saving strategies. Learn more. Check them out online, bridgelightadvisors.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
A couple of problem spots as we get in on this Monday morning. The first, I draw your attention to 95 southbound. Problems start just past Sherwood Island State Park, and they'll continue on and off pretty heavy through the Route 7 interchange there in Norwalk and on to Darien. And then more problems, pretty substantial ones, as you travel 95 south through Stamford and almost all the way to Coscob. Another problem we've got is Route 8 coming through downtown Bridgeport. It's slow and stopped in a couple of spots as you approach the 95 interchange. We've also had scattered slow spots all the way along the Merritt southbound. the problems start around the Route 58 interchange, continue tough through Murray and all the way down beyond Easton Road and almost to Poplar Plains. Trying to get you to work on a Monday morning, I'm Cruising Bruce with WICC Traffic.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation. Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Is your DIY security not giving you the security you need? For the next level of security, call Trumbull-based Property Protection Consulting. PPC can use your existing system or install a new system. Floodlights, cameras, and security devices working in concert. All from one simple app for smart home and business security tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Get a complimentary assessment. Go to ppcalarms.com. Book your complimentary assessment. ppcalarms.com. They get 5-star reviews for a reason.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. Last year, more consumers switched to Chevrolet than any other automotive brand. Why? With more standard passive and active safety features than any other brand, plus easy-to-use technology like wireless Apple CarPlay, Chevy simply builds in more value. And who doesn't love getting more for their money? With fresh inventory arriving daily, see for yourself at Carl Chevrolet, 261 Elm Street in New Canaan, or online at carlchevy.com.
This is where Shelton starts the day. Melissa in the morning on WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut.
Hey there, how are you? It is the award-winning Melissa in the Morning program. Good morning, good morning, good morning. They entrust me with the big show here, and I thank them for that. It's Paul Pacelli and you hanging out here for the vacationing, the richly deserved vacation for Melissa Sheketoff. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Got a guest coming up next hour. Actually, two great local folks coming up. And also, I have a guest coming up on the relaxation of some environmental policies. A lot of folks not happy with that, with what the Trump White House is doing, both nationally, internationally, should say both nationally, state level wise too, and internationally. So we shall talk about that. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. UConn, the women falling short, sadly, over the weekend as they were leading up to the weekend and fell to South Carolina in one national semifinal, and then South Carolina got beat pretty well by UCLA. So the UCLA women win the national title. But the whole thing centered, it seemed to be, and I didn't watch this live. I was puttering around the house and saw my phone blowing up on this. And I I saw a video of Gino Auriemma, a very headstrong guy, and Dawn Staley, a very headstrong coach. She's been that way since she was a player, played pre-WNBA days in the that women's league, whatever. Remember the New England Blizzard? There was a Hartford-based team that played, and I guess Dawn Staley played in that league. A buddy of mine who did some games there was commenting on it on his blog over the weekend. So you have a really strong type A personalities, and a lot of coaches are like that. I've known college coaches, even high school coaches. I've been covering these people for years. Sometimes they're not quite type A personalities, but more often than not, they're type A, double A, triple A, quadruple A, whatever. So apparently we saw this whole thing where, Gino had to issue an apology, but it's funny. He doesn't apologize and I'll pull up that apology in a second. He doesn't apologize to Dawn Staley. He apologizes, I guess, to UConn and to disrespecting the South Carolina coaching staff and their players. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But, yeah, stuff does get personal between coaches. But let me ask you something, though. Being a state employee, Gino Auriemma is a state employee. In other words, at least a portion of his salary. And these coaches have different ways the salaries are broken down, straight salary, whatever level of state employee they are, versus guaranteed endorsement deals. But, Gino Auriemma is a state employee. Were you happy with the way that he apologized? Did you take his side in this little kerfluffle he had with Dawn Staley? And again, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge deal, but it is. Because, when you're out there representing a state school, and look, Gino has accolades up the wazoo, all right, if we can say it that way. So he's got, I think, the best all-time winning percentage of any college coach ever. I think it's like a 91% winning percentage. But people weren't concerned about that when they saw him. Now, again, you don't know his side of the whole thing completely. He says what he says, as any coach will say what they say for media consumption. But as a state employee, as a guy that you and I pay with our state taxes, what do you think? 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. And do I, in our, maybe not so much our families, but maybe our families, when you look at people like Gino Auriemma, coach, fabulously successful, Dan Hurley, fabulously successful now. I'm seeing stories where he is being put in the pantheon of fantastic coaches of all time, right? Do you have relatives like that? No, seriously. Do you have relatives like? Do you work with people like that? Do you have relatives like that? Do you say, when you see Dan Hurley, who Gino is fiery, but I think he's a little more controlled, right? You look at Dan Hurley, and you honestly, and his wife kids about it all the time. They were on 60 Minutes a couple of years ago. Graham Benzinger online did a sit down with him, and you listen to Dan Hurley, and so a buddy of mine in the business a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this. He says, what is, with all the love in the world, because we all have our faults. He said, like, what does Dan Hurley have? I said, what do you mean? Oh, you mean like what's going on in his head, like a mental condition? And like this buddy of mine who understands sports pretty well says, oh, yeah, there's something going on there, as there are with a lot of coaches. But whether you've coached, whether you've seen your son or daughter or grandson or granddaughter, niece, nephew, whatever be coached, you look at Dan Hurley, and man, he's got neutral or park and overdrive. It doesn't seem like there's a first, second, or third gear. But you love him, don't you? He's I say this with all the love in the world, but he's the kind of, he comes over as some of the people we know, right? The good kind of crazy, right? like, man, he's good. And we work with people like that too. All of us do. But it's just to the point of where they're not on national TV. All right, traffic and weather together right here, WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
My goodness, it's a veritable potpourri of problems here this morning. Let's start on 95 southbound. It's a little slow after you pass Bridgeport, going around past Black Rock, but then worse after Route 7 in Norwalk, with slowdowns all the way to Darien. You'll break free, and then you'll hit the worst of it just after you pass Norotan and all the way through Stamford and down toward Biddick Park. You'll also find some problems 95 northbound coming up into West Haven, and more problems yet still on the Merritt. These are scattered slowdowns southbound, although the worst of them are past Waverly Park south of New Canaan. And on the other side, as you head up the Wilbur Cross, you're going to find dead stop traffic as you try to make it past Westville. This is because of a crash and construction conspiring to slow traffic all the way past West Rock. With the latest WICC traffic, I'm Cruising Bruce.
Good morning, everybody. A Monday off to a good start, although we do have a nip in the air. Right now we're at 41 in Bridgeport. Our dew point is 30. We have a gusty wind out of the west. That'll be the story through midday and early this afternoon. And the barometer right now is up to 30 inches even. That will be on the way up later in the afternoon as well. Any early gray will give way to the sun by later this morning. A brilliant afternoon on the way. We'll have a high in the low 50s. The wind will be gusting out of the west. Overnight, maybe a shower or two after midnight with a low in the mid-30s. Another bright day tomorrow is sunny with a high only near 50. On Wednesday, sunny and cooler with a high in the upper 40s. And the rest of the week looks good. We'll be in the 50s through the end of the week, and then the 60s, maybe even 70 over the weekend, and no rain in sight. Right now we're at 41 in Bridgeport. We'll be in the low 50s later this afternoon under a fair amount of sun. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
You wanted a new and improved way to experience voiceofct.com, and now you have it. We've totally revamped our website, and it looks better on your smartphone than ever before. Voiceofct.com. You can still stream all of your favorite WICC local talk shows, listen to podcasts, find out about local events, sign up for our email newsletter, and it's easier to use than ever. It's the best way to stay informed in Fairfield County. Just bookmark us, voiceofct.com. Stratford's live and local news source for 100 years. The voice of Connecticut, WICC 695.9.
I say this all the time with all the love in my heart. Melissa gets the cool music. Not that my music in the afternoon isn't good. I don't want the boss yelling at me. But man, this is great. I get all the jumping kind of tunes here. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC, twitch.tv. You can find us, WICC Radio, also on YouTube as well. You know, I got to give kudos to our great producer here on the morning show, Eric, the producer. He, coming off my thoughts about coaches and people we work with, or this and the other, mentioning Dan Hurley, and Eric said to me on the two-way talk back here during the break we did with news and traffic and weather together, is and when I say crazy, I'm not trying to be pedantic, I'm not trying to be dismissive here, but when you say crazy, Eric says, well, no, people say he's passionate. And how many people do we know in life, right? That some people would say, without trying to be disparaging people who may actually have mental health challenges, there's got to be careful. And I've always been careful about this. This is not me being, woke or anything. I mean, far from it. But we say, yeah, good guy, but he's crazy, right? And you look at a guy like Dan Hurley, who, has got a tall task in front of him tonight. heading into this morning, we found that UConn was a 5 or a 6-point underdog here. And now he's got to go without Solo Ball. Maybe Solo Ball's got a sprained foot. Okay, he'll figure it out. But, how many people are going to say, Dan Hurley is crazy? Now, as Eric said, a lot of times we say, well, he's passionate. John Kamal's here. John, I mean, come on. You know guys like this, right?
I do, actually.
Right? I mean, seriously, don't you watch? Seriously, we all watch.
Passionate.
We watch Gino, right, and the blow up on the weekend, and we watch Dan Hurley, and we say, he reminds me of fill in the blank.
Well, yeah. So the thing is, with Hurley, we kind of expect it from Hurley, and we don't expect it from Gino. I think that.
Gino's kind of a bite the lip guy. Like he'll say stuff, and I'm 72, whatever. Hurley, man, guy doesn't have any middle gears.
No.
It's parked to fifth.
No, and what was funny was on Saturday's game. I forget it was after it was in the last. It wasn't after that dunk by Ball, which was fantastic, but it was toward the final seconds of the game. The game was won, and Hurley's over there yelling at somebody, and I forget what exactly it was. But I turned to my buddy. I was just like, "This guy's still mad. This guy's still mad. He's going to the championship game. He's still mad."
Having done Quinnipiac games and Sacred Heart games for years, there's a coaching mentality that, we won, but, and if I see something, like, if I don't react to it now, like, I can't be, like, the nice guy comes when the horn goes off.
Yeah.
And that's it. But coaches always want to coach, man. They love the dissecting. Everything's about, from the opening handshake, except for Gino and Dawn Staley.
Right.
From the opening.
Right. And I was going to say, there's a reason you brought that up specifically. There's a reason you brought that up specifically. Now, I mean, and of course, a lot was made out of the headbutt. I'm sure that's what initiated this conversation in the first place. But it's,
I've gotten headbutted before, whatever. And look what it did for me. All right, what do you have for us? You want us to watch out for some stuff at the Capitol? What's going on?
I wanted to talk about Senate Bill 1. So this is what's been the big buzzword of this legislative session. And you know what? Let's honestly, I'm going to put that question to you, Paul. What would you say is the buzzword of this legislative session?
It's always taxes and spending.
Yes.
It always is to some point.
So I was going to say affordability, but you're really
you're right.
You're feeding into exactly the point that I'm trying to make. So, I mean, there's been multiple different proposals made by both sides of the aisle, and one that got a lot of bipartisan support, which I found interesting, was Senate Bill 1, which went through the, Finance, Revenue, and Bonding Committee. It was just last week on April Fool's Day. If you're not familiar with SB 1, it's an act concerning affordability.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your buzzword for the entire year right there. And what it does is it gets rid of the sales tax for certain clothing costing under $100.
Okay.
That also includes school supplies, household supplies, sandwiches, grinders. Actually, I'm going to quote it directly. Section B.
Yeah.
Sandwiches, grinders, coffee, and tea prepared and sold by grocery stores.
Yeah, that was a big thing when it came in, I remember.
Yeah. And I love that they called out grinders, too. Very Connecticut bill.
Yeah.
Very Connecticut bill using the terminology.
I wonder if there's a subline in there also known as subs, but that's okay.
I wonder if there is.
Yeah.
That'd be more for Northern CT than it would be for Zen.
Nice.
Or no, is it the other way around? Anyway.
I don't know.
So we do this already, right? We do this for 1 week in a year in August.
Mm-hmm.
This basically just makes that back to school thing that we do at the end of the summer permanent.
Cool.
Right? So everything under $100. There's also a new tax credit in there that concerns middle to lower income renters. And it's not just renters either. It establishes, I'm going to quote again, establish a tax against the personal income tax for expenditures paid or incurred by certain taxpayers for care and support of eligible family members.
Right.
So this is, aimed at dependents and, elderly in your home. But here's the part that's interesting. A portion of rent actually paid by certain taxpayers for such taxpayers' primary residence in the state, right? So Connecticut Mirror says that this tax credit, particularly for renters, is going to offset up to $1,000 of their expenses.
All right, that's interesting. All right.
Also, reported by the Connecticut Mirror, costing the state a little bit over $200 million. 202, I think, was the figure that I see the most.
it's not spare change, but it's a $28 billion budget.
Well, I mean, like before I get into the conversations that I've had with legislators about this, what are your thoughts, just initially?
You know what my thought is, John?
Yeah.
We don't, and I say this in the afternoon show all the time, sometimes we just don't try enough stuff. And I don't like the people say, well, we can't do this or we can't. Stop with the we can't. Stop. Take a look, run the numbers. Here's the problem, John, as we get close to news here. Here's the problem. We're afraid to do stuff because we're afraid that if it's wrong, we have to end it. So you never see bills here in Connecticut like they do in other states where we're going to try it for a year or two and put a sunset on it. But if it works, we'll take the sunset away.
Well, it's funny.
So I say try it.
It's funny you should say that. I don't know how close we are to the break, but Senator Ryan Fazio has said basically what you said. This could do more. And the clip I wanted to play, I think we have just enough time, was my conversation with State Rep Josh Elliott, gubernatorial candidate, of course, who supports this bill, and he was clear about that, but doesn't think that it's going quite far enough.
It does a lot of good things in a lot of places. It is what you would consider to be sort of a catch-all bill, a Frankenstein bill. It helps people that are working 9 to 5 to live in our state. The thing is that if we are not addressing the issue of the property tax and how it crushes families, whether you're a renter or you're an owner, then we are not serious about affordability. So all the things in SB1 I support. I voted yes. I will be voting yes when it comes to the House. I'll be voting yes when it comes to the budget. But this, to me, is not enough, and that is no shade at leadership or anybody that's pushing this bill. This is shade exclusively on our governor because a bigger bill is not possible under Ned right now.
Hey, he's got to campaign a little bit at the end there, too.
Sure, why not? That's
naturally.
Fine. All right. John, great stuff. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, news, traffic, and weather together, all that fun stuff on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, we certainly have our problems trying to get in this morning. Most of the issues are on 95 southbound. The worst of it right now, a little past Bridgeport. Thick for a while as you get toward Black Rock. It'll ease out, but then back up again, moving through Norwalk. Really heavy traffic going past the Route 7 interchange. And the worst of it is Stamford. Mostly southbound, but also some northbound problems on the east side of Stamford. Heavy on the southbound side all the way down toward Binney Park. We've also had some issues on Route 8 southbound coming into Bridgeport, and that backup continues right on the 95 south past the west end. A few more scattered issues on the Merritt Parkway southbound toward New York City. Most of that problem passing south of New Canaan. And some issues on the northbound side of the Merritt as you cross over Route 8. With the latest WICC traffic, I'm Cruising Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Fioric on WICC.
Sell your home smoothly when your car beauty. Go to carbeautyrealestate.com.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Gary LaVox of Rascal Flats, and it's true, we are hitting the road one more time next year, and I love traveling through Connecticut. I'm looking so forward to our show coming up in Uncasville. There are so many amazing folks there, like my friend Jonathan Carbeauty of Carbeauty and Company Realtors. If you're thinking about selling your home, you need to talk to John and his team. And hey, you can find out what your home is worth in less than 30 seconds. Just go to Carbeauty and Company Realtors website and click What's My Home Worth? It's free, it's easy, and we'll get you moving on. When you need an agent you can trust, and we'll give you the most selling options, that's Jonathan Carbeauty and Carbeauty and Company Realtors. And remember,
Sell your home smoothly when your car beauty. Go to carbeautyrealestate.com.
A collision on a motorcycle isn't like any other accident. A lot of lawyers don't understand that, probably because they've never been on a bike. At the law firm of Trantolo & Trantolo, we ride, and we get it. If you're hurt on your bike, you need somebody who understands what you're going through, who knows how to get you the money you deserve and how to get you back on the road. If you're injured on a motorcycle, don't fight solo. Trantolo & Trantolo. Get your free case assessment at trantololaw.com. That's TrantoloLaw.com.
Center Stage Theater in Shelton brings the dynamic musical review Jerry's Girls to its stage April 10th through 19th. Featuring a talented cast of 3 women, the music of Jerry Herman from Broadway classics Hello Dolly, Mame, La Cage aux Folles, and Mac and Mabel is brought to life. This show is a romp through the magic of Herman's classics. Enjoy high-quality entertainment close to home at one of Connecticut's most beloved community theaters. Visit centerstagetheater.org for tickets and more about the 2026 season.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
WICC contests are open to Connecticut residents only that are 18 years of age or older. For complete contest rules, visit voiceofct.com and click on contest rules at the bottom of the page.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. New taunts and demands, one including vulgar language from President Trump to Iran.
Giving the regime until Tuesday to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face a massive attack on the country's power plants and bridges. An Iranian official dismissed the demands, calling President Trump a, quote, unstable, delusional figure.
CBS's Jesse Mitchell. Pakistan has just presented a 2-tier framework for ending hostilities, calls for an immediate ceasefire. For now, airfares are going up. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
In the U.S., ticket prices are starting to rise between 7 and 20% for the foreseeable future.
Gas prices today, an average $4.12 a gallon in the U.S. The Artemis II crew is set to get a close-up of the far side of the moon today. Commander Reed Wiseman.
The 4 of us have looked at this moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we are seeing out the window is... it's just like we're a bunch of little kids up here. We cannot get enough of this. It's amazing.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Governor Ned Lamont and top legislators have 4 weeks to agree on a budget plan. The only agreement so far has come on a tax cut plan that's expected to save small businesses on licensing fees for various professions. This comes as estimators say the state budget deficit could reach $180 million for the fiscal year. Negotiators typically wait until the April 15th tax deadline to ramp up discussions after they get a clearer picture of the state's fiscal health. Funding for state prison reform and living facilities for people with disabilities are 2 topics expected to be at the forefront of many discussions. Connecticut gubernatorial candidate Betsy McCoy is pledging to end the state income tax if she's elected this coming November. The former New York lieutenant governor is one of 3 candidates running for the Republican nomination for governor, alongside former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart and State Senator Ryan Fazio. In a conversation with News 8, McCoy said that her proposal to eliminate the income tax would be a gradual one and pointed to examples in other states for how to accomplish it.
The naysayers say, well, there'll be a huge hole in the state budget. The income tax currently provides half the revenue. We're not blowing a hole in the state budget. This is a fiscally responsible, gradual way. The bill says in each of these states, when revenue increases by 5%, the lawmakers are legally bound to use that new money to reduce the income tax step by step rather than spending it on new programs, new spending. And that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do in Connecticut.
She went on to say that the total elimination of the tax would take approximately 5 years. A Southern Connecticut State University student is reportedly being detained by ICE. In a statement, the university's interim president, Sandy Bulmer, said the incident happened off campus. She said the school is working to get more information while respecting the privacy of the student involved. Bulmer also said that there's been no evidence of ICE activity on the SCSU campus. Police are investigating a homicide in Stratford that happened this past Saturday. Officers were called to a disturbance on Woodstock Avenue. When they arrived, they discovered that the disturbance had upgraded to a homicide. Police say there is no threat to the public, and the incident is still under investigation. A diner in East Haven gave out over 200 meals for Easter yesterday. Twin Pines Diner first began giving out Thanksgiving meals during the pandemic, but after an overwhelming response from the community, owner Jim Triantis decided to start doing it on Easter as well. The meals are available to veterans, seniors, or anyone else who needs a free meal. Recipients had their choice of either Virginia ham or roasted turkey. And UConn will have experience on their side against Michigan in the NCAA championship game tonight. While the Huskies are considered underdogs, they still boast one of the winningest players of all time in Alex Karaban. Karaban has been part of 2 national championship teams already in 2023 and 24, and he'd be the only player ever to win a third besides those on the UCLA teams that won 10 national championships in the 60s and 70s. The win would also cement head coach Dan Hurley's legacy as one of the most successful coaches of all time. Hurley says it's a great opportunity to make the people of Connecticut proud. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Okay, John, right you are. Once again, he's sponsored this time around by Kitchen Corner in Fairfield. Check him out. Visit Kitchen Corner in Fairfield, the headquarters for your cooking needs and entertaining essentials, offering expert knife sharpening. 203-374-1118. That's 203-374-1118 or kitchen-corner.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, Mama said there'd be days like this, and this is one of them. A lot of traffic problems, many of them on 95 South. A little slow in a spot or two between Bridgeport and Fairfield. The bigger problems are after you pass Norwalk and Route 7. You have slow traffic at times all the way to Darien. And then the worst of 95 South appears to be either side of Stamford, basically starting as you approach Glenbrook and all the way toward Coscob. You'll find more problems on 95 on the northbound side after you pass Milford and as you come up into West Haven. Now, some bigger problems you're going to have to deal with on the Wilbur Cross. The worst of it's going to start just after you go over the Racebrook Road overpass, and then heavy and slow. This is thanks to at least one crash and some construction as well. And the slowness continues all the way to West Rock. A few problems on the southbound side of the Merritts around Coleytown and Poplar Plains, and then a little worse as you pass south of New Canaan. It's a lot to digest. Let's try to get there in one piece this morning with WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
A cancer diagnosis comes with so many questions. Should you get a second opinion? What's the right treatment? How do you tell your kids? You don't need more questions in your life. You need world-class cancer care here in Fairfield County. That's why Stamford Health collaborates with Dana-Farber Brigham Cancer Center, ranked number 3 nationally for cancer care. Your search for answers stops when our care for you starts. Stamford Health.
Do you truly understand the impact of taxes on your retirement savings? Would you like to keep more of your hard-earned money? Attend Bridge Light Financial's Taxes in Retirement event, April 21st and 23rd at Il Palio in Shelton. It's a free workshop discussing real tax saving strategies. Click bridgelightadvisors.com and register.
This is Bill Levitt, President of Bridge Light Financial Advisors. We'll show you real tax savings on your savings.
Come to our next event at Il Palio in Shelton. Register today at bridgelightadvisors.com. bridgelightadvisors.com.
Next up for Connecticut Superstar auditions, The Scratchers.
It's the first Tuesday of the month. It's time to scratch tickets, there's a bunch.
Stop. First Tuesday? Yeah, Connecticut Lottery releases new scratch tickets on the first Tuesday of every month.
First Tuesday. That's a yes for us.
New tickets, new prizes, new chances to win. It's the first Tuesday, so let's get scratching.
Odds vary by game. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling helpline. Call 888-789-7777.
Here to get you all sides of the story. It's Melissa in the Morning on the Voice of Connecticut. WICC 600 and 95.9.
Thanks to our buddy John Kamal. Last segment there about some tweaks, some offers made maybe by Governor Ned Lamont and the majority Democrats there and the minority Republicans there as we try to find, or they or both sides try to find a winning message for the elections coming up in November. You know, and if you listen to me in the afternoon, if you don't, I'd invite you to. Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 on Connecticut Today, when I'm not doing the Great Melissa show here. You know that we really into the afternoon get in and dissect politics to a micro level. And one thing I'm noticing here, I've been talking to people in the know here and just noticing the tenor of what's going on without being uber perceptive here. Yeah, if you made me bet, if you made me say, hey, I'm locking you in the room here if you don't come out with some sort of a prediction on the election in November, if you held any sort of weapon to any side of my, any part of my anatomy here, I would still say I would think today Ned Lamont wins. Today. I think it's close. I think it's much closer than either of his previous wins against Bob Stefanowski. I think it's much closer than either of the victories that the Democrats had over Tom Foley when Mr. Foley ran twice unsuccessfully. But I think I think it's going to be close. Now, could Ryan Fazio win? Sure. Could Aaron Stewart win? Sure. Could Betsy McCoy win? Of course she could. I doubt it with the numbers right now and some of the perceptions about her. And, you know, look, age is a factor. I get it. I understand that. She's never held elected office on her own. I did interview her, I recall, a couple of times years ago. Remember, Hillary Clinton was trying to do national health care, but she said the meetings were not going to be public. They were going to be secret. And I remember Betsy McCoy took that up as her cause, and she wrote some really good stuff about it. And I remember having her on at least once or twice. Now, she wants to get rid of the state income tax again. And she says you could do it over 5 or 6 years. I don't know. I'm going to have her on. Her person contacted me the other day, so I'm going to have her on and talk about how do you do that. Because, again, the state income tax, the money that is taken by the state of Connecticut out of our checks, that former governor, the late Lowell P. Weicker, God rest his soul, said was going to be temporary. Well, it's been temporary since 1991. But that's 52% of state revenues. But I digress. I think there's been a little bit of a shift in the governor's race here. I honestly do. You had the governor with hat in hand not yesterday, but a few days ago, going to the New Haven Democratic Town Committee, pushing his progressive creds because Josh Elliott in Hamden he's doing a bit better. The fundraising is starting to come around a little bit. And as I mentioned on the afternoon show, look, Zohran Mamdani, who's that guy? He's got no shot against Mario Cuomo. Come on, he's got no shot. And what happened? Mr. Mamdani, whether you despise his politics, whether you think he's an anti-Semite or not, whether you embrace his economic message, affordability, the rent's too damn high, all that stuff, the actual physical campaign that they ran in New York, you could duplicate that here because you know what? So much of it was on social media. And you wonder if Josh Elliott were to qualify for a primary, Is that making the Democratic Party and Governor Ned Lamont, or maybe not, are they sweating a little bit about this? Just a skosh. Just a pinch, as Walt Garrison used to say, twing your cheek and gum. You know, there was that University of New Hampshire survey that came out, about 3-4 weeks ago. It's got now I know it's one survey and you could find a poll for anything, but it's got Mr. Lamont at 49%. When you're below 50%, that's a little bit of an you got going there, right? 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. There's an article today, there's an op-ed, I think, in the New York Times by one of the gentlemen who ran one of Mr. Obama's campaign, David Plouffe. It's all video now. It's all the idea, folks, the idea of the old-fashioned campaign stop. Hey, the governor's going to be here, or this Republican's going to be here. Yeah, they're nice, but guess what? To sway voters, it's over. It's done. It's social media. It has been now for the past 2 or 3 years. It's TikTok. It's Facebook. It's WeChat. It's X, whatever. And the question is, what happens if Josh Elliott qualifies for a campaign, for a primary? He hits the ground running with that. Are the Lamont people ready? They may be. They may be keeping their powder dry on this. Who knows? Stuff fascinates me. All right, traffic and weather together right here, WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
Well, that 103-mile stretch of construction we call I-95 has its problems. We do have some slow-go on the southbound side around Black Rock. More slow-go after you pass Norwalk, continuing straight through Darien. It doesn't let up until Norotan. Then it backs up again coming into Stamford. That's some of the worst of it. Some real heavy stuff, especially by Harbor Point. That doesn't clear out until you're down near Binney Park. And that's not all for 95, because we have slow-go on the north side of 95. After you pass the Milford Parkway connector there, it's going to get slow all the way into West Haven. Our other problem spots have been on the Woodward Cross this morning. We got some real heavy going because of a combination of construction and a crash. Misery as you approach Amity. A few more slowdowns on the Merritt Parkway heading southbound. They start around the Reading Road overpass, and they'll be heavy at times right through Coleytown and Poplar Plains, and more problems as you pass south of New Canaan. Certainly a challenging morning to get in with WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
Good morning, everybody, and that it is. We have the sun. We begin in the lower 40s, a little moderation by midday and early afternoon, but there will be a gusty breeze during the afternoon as well, and that wind generally will be out of the west by midday and early afternoon. We'll see the sun with a high in the low 50s later this afternoon with a generous breeze out of the west. Maybe a shower later after midnight, but not a big deal, mid-30s. Another bright day tomorrow, sunny with a high near 50. By midweek on Wednesday, look for a fair amount of sun, only in the upper 40s, and fair weather through the end of the week. It'll be cool, and then we moderate over the weekend. Right now, we're in the lower 40s, more in the way of the sun, lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Paul Fioric on WICC.
Back to the news and talk. Thanks to Smart MLS. Smart sellers ask, is my home on Smart MLS? The voice of Connecticut, WICC 695.9. It's Melissa in the morning.
Hey, it's Paula from Melissa. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? You up? You stretched already? 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. And just to wrap up my thoughts on this, on the Republican side, I have no idea who's going to. I don't. I would say that similar to what happened with the Senate race a few years ago when everybody thought Themis Claridis was the de facto nominee against Mr. Blumenthal, and that would have been a heck of a race. Leora Levy swooped in and she was able to win it in a primary after getting a nod from then President Trump in Trump 1.0 in his first term. So I don't know. I don't know. Really, if you held that same weapon to any part of my body, to say that who do you think is going to get the Republican nomination, Ryan Fazio, Greenwich State Senate member, or multi-term former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart, I couldn't tell you. I right now, if I had to say who and again, the real campaign hasn't started yet, but there will be almost definitely a primary coming up for the Republicans. I would give a little bit of an edge to Aaron Stewart because, and Ryan's a wonderful friend of the radio station. He's been on this show. He's been on Lisa's show. He's been on my show. Aaron Stewart's been on this program numerous times, also with Lisa in the middays here. I just think right now things could change. The fact that she is a female candidate and served multi-terms in a blue city as a Democrat is something that she can bank on, something that she can work on. Now, who knows? There are a lot of people in the General Assembly on the Republican side, because he is one of them, obviously. You've got a lot of people in the General Assembly saying, hey, we support Ryan Fazio. And they will get the word out to the town committees and all that. So this whole thing, folks, this is fascinating. The state conventions, by the way, I recently realized or was told the state nominating conventions are both on the same day. And I think both sides do that on purpose to try and peel away the ability of news coverage and state media from both, to what extent they're still going to get covered. But I believe May 16th on the Saturday is when the balloting takes place. I believe the Democrats are meeting. Well, I shouldn't say where. It's not that it's a secret. It's a popular gathering place, as is I think the Republicans are meeting in Mohegan Sun, I believe. So a good time will be had by my buddy Ben Proto and all. So you're going to really see coverage of this starting to speed up in the next month. Now that we're past Easter and we're already staring down the barrel here of the middle of April already. Yes, I think my taxes are done. I think my accountant just sent me the papers, say, here, sign these. But having said all that, it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of you people have asked me, could Ryan Fazio and Aaron Stewart team up as a governor, lieutenant governor candidate who would be the number 2 person? You can't do that in Connecticut, as is presently constituted. Connecticut is one of the only states left where the lieutenant governor and the gubernatorial candidate run independent races. So, there's a little bit of a, could they run together? What if one of them lost? No, you can't do that in Connecticut. It's one of the few places that the forced marriage thing takes place. So, yeah, could they win together? Yeah. And again, I think here's what write this down. Paul told you this on Monday, the 6th of April, 2026, filling in for the fabulously talented Melissa in the morning right here on WICC. The visual in the general election is going to matter. And by that I mean, let us assume, just for the moment, because of varying factors, that Betsy McCoy is not the nominee. She may be. I don't know. And let's assume for a variety of factors that Ned Lamont is likely to be the nominee unless Josh Elliott pulls a stunning upset. If the onstage debate visual is Ned Lamont versus Ryan Fazio, what does that exude? I'm not saying Ned Lamont's a bad guy. I'm not saying Ryan Fazio's a bad guy. What does that exude? Youthfulness for the Republicans versus age, authority, and a record for the Democrats. Same thing. If it's Ned Lamont versus Aaron Stewart. Right? Same thing. Think about all that. It matters. Traffic and weather together right here. One more hour to go on WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Well, that 103-mile stretch of construction we call I-95 has its problems. We do have some slow go on the southbound side around Black Rock. More slow go after you pass Norwalk, continuing straight through Darien. It doesn't let up until Norotan. Then it backs up again coming into Stamford. That's some of the worst of it. Some real heavy stuff, especially by Harbor Point. That doesn't clear out until you're down near Binney Park. And that's not all for 95 because we have slow go on the north side of 95. After you pass the Milford Parkway connector there, it's going to get slow all the way into West Haven. Our other problem spots have been on the Wilbur Cross this morning. We got some real heavy going because of a combination of construction and a crash. Misery as you approach Amity. A few more slowdowns on the Merritt Parkway heading southbound. They start around the Reading Road overpass, and they'll be heavy at times right through Coleytown and Poplar Plains, and more problems as you pass south of New Canaan. Certainly a challenging morning to get in with WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Fioric on WICC.
The winter may be behind us, but did you see that windstorm earlier in March and how many branches and tree limbs came down? I know I saw it in my neighborhood here in Milford. Hey, Melissa Sheketoff here. And it's another reminder that we live in New England and storms happen all throughout the year. And I don't want you to have property damage. That's why I want you to check out my friends at K&J Tree Service. I am a proud customer of K&J, and boy, did I have a great experience. Check out KJTreeService.com for more information and to book that free tree risk assessment.
Hi, I'm Melanie Miranda, owner of Apex Radon Solutions, your local certified radon mitigation company. Radon is something every homeowner should take seriously. Radon is an invisible, odorless gas, and it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in the U.S. The good news, testing is simple. Apex Radon Solutions is offering free radon test kits to help protect your home and your family. Let's see how low your radon can go. Learn more and request your free radon test kit at apexradonsolutions.com.
Dude, I just got this car.
Yeah, sorry, man. Take it to my friend. He can do it for cheap.
Hi, this is Chris from Sono Collision. Don't just go to anybody for your repairs. Choose the best. Remember, you're the one that has to live with the repairs. It's your choice, so pick quality at Sono Collision. Go to SONOcollision.com or call 203-939-9955. Your car will thank you.
At Donors Choose, we want students and teachers to have the tools they need for a great education. And now, more than ever, they need your support. Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Donors Choose. Support a classroom. Build a future.
You're listening to WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut. WICC AM Bridgeport, WICC FM Southport, WEBE HD2 Westport, WPLR HD2 New Haven, locally owned by Connoisseur Media.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump is expected to give an update on the Iran war at 1 p.m. Eastern after posting to Truth Social he would blow up the whole country if Iran doesn't open the Strait of Hormuz by tomorrow evening. Correspondent Nancy Cordes is at the White House.
The president insisted his top negotiators, Stephen Witkoff and Jared Kushner, are having productive talks with Iran and claimed there's a good chance they can make a deal. Both sides have received a proposal from regional countries that would implement a 45-day ceasefire and immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz. But it's still unclear if the U.S. and Iran would agree to it.
Israel says it's killed the leader of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's undercover unit. The Artemis II mission is scheduled to make a historic loop around the far side of the moon today. New footage shows crew members watching as the moon gets closer. Commander Reed Wiseman.
The four of us have looked at this moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we are seeing out the window, it's amazing.
If all goes well, the crew will set a new long-distance record from Earth. There will be a communications blackout, 40 minutes of silence as their capsule passes behind the moon and blocks direct signals to NASA. Pepsi is withdrawing its support for a music event overseas this summer. Correspondent Vicky Barker from London.
The top sponsors of a big London music festival have pulled out after Prime Minister Keir Starmer expressed serious concern that Ye would be headlining the 3-day event. Pepsi and Diageo both yanking their support. Following last week's announcement, a number of British politicians and faith groups called for the rapper to be denied a visa. They are skeptical of his January apology for past anti-Semitic, pro-Nazi remarks.
More than 2 months after her mother was kidnapped, Savannah Guthrie returned to the Today Show anchor desk.
It is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back at home.
Well, here we go, ready or not.
Yeah.
Let's do the news.
Yes, so good to have you back.
Guthrie wore a yellow dress. Her co-host Craig Melvin a yellow tie. The color symbolizes joy and optimism. Guthrie said she was excited to see fans with signs outside the studio window. She said she's been feeling the love so much. They picked up an extra passenger on a flight from Kingston, Jamaica to New York's JFK over the weekend. Air traffic control made a request after a woman gave birth.
Is it out yet?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell her she's got to name it Kennedy.
Kennedy. Will do.
No word on whether the new mom took the tower's suggestion. Gas is up to an average $4.12 a gallon today. Dow futures up 4. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Construction is nearly complete at the waterfront apartment complex at Steel Point Harbor in Bridgeport, and the building is set to open at the beginning of summer. The complex has been named the August and will feature units ranging from studio apartments to massive 3-bedroom rentals. Rent prices for the larger units exceed $9,000 per month, with the studio spaces being listed at $1,965 per month. The complex will also include many amenities, including a saltwater pool, a gym, pickleball courts, and outdoor grill areas. One person is injured following a crash in Oxford. The crash took place last week when a Subaru Forester collided with a utility pole in the 500 block of Roosevelt Drive. Bystanders helped the 57-year-old man from the vehicle, but he ran into the road where he was struck by another car. The victim was taken to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A promotion at Jordan's Furniture to provide free items nearly came to fruition. If both the UConn men's and women's basketball teams had made the national championship game, the company was going to provide full rebates to customers who purchased items from January 20th through March 1st. While the UConn men advanced with a win over Illinois on Saturday, the women's team was upset by South Carolina in the semifinals on Friday, as executives with Jordans breathed a sigh of relief. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Game right now. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Guest coming up here from Sacred Heart University in just a moment. We should tell you, though, this time around that John's News on WICC and Melissa in the Morning is brought to you by the folks at M.J. Thomas Jewelers. Hey, you looking to buy or sell some gold? Visit M.J. Thomas Jewelers in Stratford for expert service and great deals. Their knowledgeable staff is there to assist with all your gold needs. More info, check them out online, mjthomas.com, mjthomas.com.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
Well, that 103-mile stretch of construction we call I-95 has its problems. We do have some slow-go on the southbound side around Black Rock. More slow-go after you pass Norwalk, continuing straight through Darien. It doesn't let up until Norotan. Then it backs up again coming into Stamford. That's some of the worst of it. Some real heavy stuff, especially by Harbor Point. That doesn't clear out until you're down near Binney Park. And that's not all for 95 because we have slow-go on the north side of 95. After you pass the Milford Parkway connector there, it's going to get slow all the way into West Haven. Our other problem spots have been on the Woodward Cross this morning. We got some real heavy going because of a combination of construction and a crash. Misery as you approach Amity. A few more slowdowns on the Merritt Parkway heading southbound. They start around the Reading Road overpass, and they'll be heavy at times right through Coleytown and Poplar Plains, and more problems as you pass south of New Canaan. Certainly a challenging morning to get in with WICC traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low of 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
If you're looking for a great price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires. But it doesn't end there, because Town Fair Tire gives you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. More free services than any other tire dealer. That's why we say nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hi, I'm Peter from Donut Delight. Donut Delight has used Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning since 1994. From installing plumbing in our new stores to maintaining our existing stores and our personal homes. Their guys have always been very professional and great to work with. Donut Delight has been very happy with Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Looking for a reliable plumbing or HVAC company? Steve Basso Plumbing, Heating, and AC has proven customer satisfaction since 1974. Go to BassoPHAC.com. That's BassoPHAC.com.
This is where Stamford starts the day. Melissa in the Morning on WICC 600 and 95.9, the voice of Connecticut.
All right, we'll get back to open phones momentarily. Open text messages, open emails, all that open. Hey, it's Paul Pacelli here. Good morning from Melissa on the Melissa in the Morning program at 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. Always like talking to and talking about the fine folks at Sacred Heart University. Go Pios. You know my involvement there with the hockey team. Love it every minute. Going to talk, though, some academics here. And joining us right now is Pam Pillow, the Assistant Vice President for Undergrad Admissions at Sacred Heart University. And Pam, good morning to you. Thanks for dropping by.
Good
We
morning,
appreciate
Paul.
it. How are you?
Thank you. Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's make sure people know this up front. The website, Sacred Heart, one word, sacredheart.edu. Social media tags at Sacred Heart University, all one word. Pam, I guess today we're talking about the need for skilled leaders in education. Are we falling short there? What are we concerned about there, Pam, especially in your position as Assistant VP for undergrad admissions?
Well, we certainly want to make sure we're, attracting the right students and also getting them prepared for those programs and careers that they have a desire to pursue.
So for seniors who are deciding right now, we've all been there as students at one time, and my son was there, and we all know this is happening all over the area. What are the most important factors they should know about, Pam, to see if a college is the right fit for them?
Yeah, that's great. I think there are really three key areas for students to focus on. And first, it is those academics and career pathways. If a student has a strong sense of what they want to pursue or study, they should make sure that that college offers those programs, resources, outcomes within that area. But if they're completely undecided, that's okay too. But in that case, it becomes important to look at advising and career counseling and exploratory programs that will help guide them. Second, I think it's that involvement in community piece. College is much more about just going to the classroom. Yeah. Students should ask themselves, can I see myself getting involved here? Is that whether it's a club, a student organization, athletics, performing arts, or maybe it's about trying something brand new. That's really where students build those connections and find their fit.
So,
and then...
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please finish.
No, that's okay.
No,
I was
please.
just going to say that third area I think is more a little bit intangible.
Yeah.
And it's things like the campus size, location, housing, dining, maybe a religious-based mission or values that an institution has. That can all shape a student experience. So, students really want to try to identify where they can see themselves excelling academically and personally.
A lot of us went on campus visits. We checked out the campus either as prospective students when we were younger or to area students now as parents and guardians and relatives. So how can those students make the most of student events, campus visits, when they're walking around and they may be a little bit overwhelmed with what they're looking at as a decision? What should they be asking or looking for?
Yeah, you're right. And it can be a little overwhelming, especially with a big decision to make. But pay attention to how the campus feels. Can you see yourself living there day to day? As you walk the campus, do other students seem happy and welcoming and engaged? It's hard to measure that sense of belonging, but it is important. Second, you want to ask questions, maybe even talk to current students, ask about their experiences, what they like about the institution, maybe what surprised them or what they wish they knew before enrolling. If you have an intended major or academic program of interest, try to connect with a faculty member and better understand what the classroom experience will be like and opportunities like internships or research. But I think the best thing to do when you're on a campus visit, to the point about it being a little overwhelming, especially when you're going on multiple visits, is take notes and also take photos throughout the day. Even take note of what the commute was like to the institution. What does the surrounding neighborhood look like? Could you see yourself spending time there? All of those details can kind of blur together, so it's helpful to have something to look back on.
Pam Pillow is the guest, Assistant VP for Undergrad Admissions at Sacred Heart University. Finally, Pam, parents want to help, but they also need to give their students space, right? So is there a balance there? Can a parent be too overwhelmed by this? Can they be too distant? What do you recommend there?
Yeah, it's such an important question because there really is a balance. First, I think it's important to recognize just how much students have invested to get to the point of applying to college. It's years of taking the right classes, working hard, staying involved all throughout high school, and now they're navigating a process that can feel very competitive and overwhelming. And, making that final choice just brings so much pressure and vulnerability. So ideally, families have had some bigger picture conversations leading up to April, May of senior year, things like financial fit, distance from home, just general expectations. And once you have some, guidelines, guardrails, it's important to then give the students some space to process their options and come to their own decision. Support doesn't mean, talking about it every single day. In fact, maybe it's best if parents take a step back and listen and create a little space for their student to maybe think out loud. But at the same time, try to enjoy the moment. Visiting campus is very exciting, imagining the future, but you just have to trust your child's instinct and know that, when it feels right, that might just be the right fit for your student. And at the end of the day, it's typically a shared decision with parents providing the right guidance and students feeling empowered. But it's a very, very exciting time, and we look forward to working with all of our prospective families who will be visiting campus over the next month or so.
Fantastic. What can parents and or prospective students do, Pam, if they want more information about all this?
Oh, just contact our office. You mentioned our website and our social media handles, but if you just go to www.sacredheart.edu/staff, you'll connect right with our admissions office. We're here for you, as well as our financial aid team, the entire enrollment team. Like I said, we take a very personalized approach, so we look forward to meeting and engaging with all of our admitted student families.
Fantastic. And that's a darn nice hockey facility, too.
It sure is. Very exciting. Very exciting. The energy in there is fantastic.
Yeah, I just finished like my 4th or 5th year doing color on the hockey broadcast. So it is, Mr. Martiri did right there. He
sure did. We're so grateful.
He sure did. Hey, great stuff. Pam Pillow, Assistant VP for undergrad admissions at Sacred Heart. Pam, thanks. We'll stay in touch. We appreciate the time. Thanks, Pam.
Wonderful.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. Traffic and weather together. More coming up right here. WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Hey, good news, traffic is finally starting to ease up a little bit now. We still have scattered slow go between Black Rock and Southport in the Fairfield stretch. But you're going to find that all of the other problem traffic has kind of gone away with the exception of Stamford. That's been a sticky spot for some point now. It'll be backing up right after you pass Cortland Ave, heavy at times going by Harbor Point, and staying stiff until the west end. Problems on 95 northbound have lessened. We do still have problem traffic because of a crash on 95 north. This has got things backed up past the Milford Parkway. So you lose a little time there. One other concern is on the Merritt. As you're heading south toward New York City, you'll find some slow spots south of New Canaan and some problem spots on the northbound side a little further back near North Stamford. With the latest WICC traffic, I'm Cruising Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or two and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Pioric on WICC.
When we say you can listen to the voice of Connecticut anywhere, we really mean it. You can stream us at work or listen in your car. And that's just on your phone. We've totally redesigned our smartphone app, and now it's easier to use. Listen live, find podcasts, keep up to date with everything going on in Connecticut, and it's still totally free. Just go to your app store now and search for WICC. It's time for the Market Scoreboard Report with Ron and Sana. Now on WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
After the long holiday weekend, stocks are mixed this morning. Dow futures a little lower, the S&P and Nasdaq advancing, and oil prices are down amid reports from Axios that several countries are trying to mediate a 45-day ceasefire between the U.S., Israel, and Iran and bring an end to the war. Oil prices down more than $1 after shooting up last night amid threats from President Trump about bombing Iran come 8 p.m. tomorrow night if indeed no agreement is reached. So we have a lot of volatility in financial markets around the world. European markets are mostly lower this morning, while Asian markets were also mixed in overnight trade. Bond yields holding a little bit higher. The yield on the 10-year note 4.36%. Gold prices up $36 to start the day, and crypto also rallying sharply, but Bitcoin still below $70,000 per coin. A lot on the agenda this week, but the focus will be on Iran, particularly over the next 36 hours. The president gave Iran until 8 p.m. tomorrow night to surrender or face an onslaught.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Proud to be the voice of Connecticut for the last 100 years. WICC 695.9.
All righty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 203-333-94 and 22333 WICC. Thanks to Pam Pillow from Admissions at Sacred Heart University. All right. Of course, the big game tonight, the UConn men taking on the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan looking for its first title, I think, since back in the Fab 5 days, which was like 1989, 1990. Point spread I just saw. Not that I'm telling you to gamble. I'm not telling you to do that or anything. I have not placed a legal, and I'm not telling you what to do. It's just, I don't know, I'm kind of like, if I do it, I may like it and then not want to stop. That's just me. That's the paranoia in me for doing that. But I think the last spread I saw, the spread now is up to 6.5 points, I think. So it's Michigan minus 6.5 or UConn plus 6.5 solo ball. Going to be a game time decision, as they say. See how that mild ankle sprain he has is moving along. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. You never like to be a game in life. You never like to be a game time a game time decision. You don't want to be that. No, you don't. No, you don't. 203-333-9422, 333-WICC. We may find out a little bit more at the Capitol about this homeschooling bill. Now, I don't know whether you heard my show. What was it, Thursday or Friday? I mentioned this. It was Friday, because our pal Chris Caruso said it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Sorry. I guess the homeschooling bill was going to fail in committee. It was going to lose 24-22. And you can find some, my friend Megan Portfolio has done some really good work on this from the Yankee Institute, but apparently in the voting period, and again, I'm just letting you know this because this is kind of minutia-ish, and a lot of people are not into the minutia of this, like I am, and some other stuff, some other people are with this stuff. In the voting period, 4 Democrats changed their minds within the time of the vote. Now, I've talked to people, including our friend Chris Caruso, Chris telling us on the air on my show on Friday, hey, this is not all that unusual. But what happened here is a photo was shown of the vote tally sheet. You know, where the name of the state rep there, the state Senate member is there. And on that sheet, you could see, because it's done in pen and paper, old-time, low-tech pencil and paper, which is, I think, why they actually do that. And eventually they lop it over to electronic stuff. But 4 Democratic state legislators, 3, I believe, from Fairfield County, sometime during the voting period, changed their votes from no to yes. So it would have lost 24 to 22, but 4 of the no votes became yes votes, and it passed 26 to 20. So I will effort a push this week to find out why those votes were changed. And again, there is nothing wrong with that. So hopefully these yes votes were changed to yes from no, because the legislators, again, 3 of the 4 from Fairfield County, said, well, okay, this will make the bill better. So we shall see. Traffic and weather together right here, WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
Hey, good news, traffic is finally starting to ease up a little bit now. We still have scattered slow go between Black Rock and Southport in the Fairfield stretch. But you're going to find that all of the other problem traffic has kind of gone away with the exception of Stamford. That's been a sticky spot for some point now. It'll be backing up right after you pass Cortland Ave, heavy at times going by Harvard Point, and staying stiff until the west end. Problems on 95 northbound have lessened. We do still have problem traffic because of a crash on 95 north. This has got things backed up past the Milford Parkway. So you lose a little time there. One other concern is on the Merritt. As you're heading south toward New York City, you'll find some slow spots south of New Canaan and some problem spots on the northbound side a little further back near North Stamford. With the latest WICC traffic, I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low of 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or 2 tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Looking for complete dental care in one convenient location? Visit Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven. Their expert team includes a general dentist, periodontist, and oral surgeon. So whether you need a routine checkup and cleaning, dental implants, or wisdom teeth extraction, they've got you covered. Quality care all under one roof. Call Columbia Dental in Norwalk and New Haven today at 203-299-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
In the real estate ecosystem, trust and transparency create harmony. But one elusive species disrupts this balance, the rogue agent. Their secrecy with off-market listings leave home buyers confused, frustrated, and inventory-starved. And that's bad news for sellers too. With Smart MLS, over 20,000 realtors unite, creating more demand, offers, and better results. Ask your agent if your home is on Smart MLS.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is WICC 695.9, the voice of Connecticut.
CBS News Brief. New taunts and demands, one including vulgar language from President Trump to Iran.
Giving the regime until Tuesday to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or face a massive attack on the country's power plants and bridges. An Iranian official dismissed the demands, calling President Trump a, quote, unstable, delusional figure.
CBS's Jesse Mitchell. Pakistan has just presented a two-tier framework for ending hostilities, calls for an immediate ceasefire. For now, airfares are going up. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
In the U.S., ticket prices are starting to rise between 7 and 20% for the foreseeable future.
Gas prices today, an average $4.12 a gallon in the U.S. The Artemis II crew is set to get a close-up of the far side of the moon today. Commander Reed Wiseman.
The four of us have looked at this moon our entire lives, and the way we are responding to what we are seeing out the window is... it's just like we're a bunch of little kids up here. We cannot get enough of this. It's amazing.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
WICC 695.9, Connecticut Lottery Voice of Connecticut Local News Update.
Governor Ned Lamont and top legislators have 4 weeks to agree on a budget plan. The only agreement so far has come on a tax cut plan that's expected to save small businesses on licensing fees for various professions. This comes as estimators say the state budget deficit could reach $180 million for the fiscal year. Negotiators typically wait until the April 15th tax deadline to ramp up discussions after they get a clearer picture of the state's fiscal health. Funding for state prison reform and living facilities for people with disabilities are two topics expected to be at the forefront of many discussions. Connecticut gubernatorial candidate Betsy McCoy is pledging to end the state income tax if she's elected this coming November. The former New York lieutenant governor is one of 3 candidates running for the Republican nomination for governor, alongside former New Britain Mayor Aaron Stewart and State Senator Ryan Fazio. In a conversation with News 8, McCoy said that her proposal to eliminate the income tax would be a gradual one and pointed to examples in other states for how to accomplish it.
The naysayers say, well, there'll be a huge hole in the state budget. The income tax currently provides half the revenue. We're not blowing a hole in the state budget. This is a fiscally responsible, gradual way. The bill says in each of these states, when revenue increases by 5%, the lawmakers are legally bound to use that new money to reduce the income tax step by step rather than spending it on new programs, new spending. And that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do in Connecticut.
She went on to say that the total elimination of the tax would take approximately 5 years. A Southern Connecticut State University student is reportedly being detained by ICE. In a statement, the university's interim president, Sandy Bulmer, said the incident happened off campus. She said the school is working to get more information while respecting the privacy of the student involved. Bulmer also said that there's been no evidence of ICE activity on the SCSU campus. Police are investigating a homicide in Stratford that happened this past Saturday. Officers were called to a disturbance on Woodstock Avenue. When they arrived, they discovered that the disturbance had upgraded to a homicide. Police say there is no threat to the public, and the incident is still under investigation. A diner in East Haven gave out over 200 meals for Easter yesterday. Twin Pines Diner first began giving out Thanksgiving meals during the pandemic, but after an overwhelming response from the community, owner Jim Triantis decided to start doing it on Easter as well. The meals are available to veterans, seniors, or anyone else who needs a free meal. Recipients had their choice of either Virginia ham or roasted turkey. And UConn will have experience on their side against Michigan in the NCAA championship game tonight. While the Huskies are considered underdogs, they still boast one of the winningest players of all time in Alex Karaban. Caravan has been part of 2 national championship teams already in 2023 and 24, and he'd be the only player ever to win a third besides those on the UCLA teams that won 10 national championships in the 60s and 70s. The win would also cement head coach Dan Hurley's legacy as one of the most successful coaches of all time. Hurley says it's a great opportunity to make the people of Connecticut proud. For the Voice of Connecticut, WICC, I'm John Kamal.
Thank you, John. Sponsored by Courtesy Carpet Flooring Design Center. Now's the time for a fresh new look for your home. Save on top flooring brands at Courtesy Carpet. No big box gimmicks, just fair, honest prices. Check them out. Courtesy Carpet, Route 111 in Monroe.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now traffic.
We had quite a few problems on 95 southbound this morning. They're all pretty well cleared up, but we have a remaining problem on the north side. Now, this is because of a crash, and it's got traffic on 95 north backed from around Woodmont past the Milford Parkway. So beware you're losing time going through that stretch. We also have a couple of new problems that have popped up. One of them on the Merritt southbound. Now, this is going to be just a little bit after you cross over Route 110. Some heavy traffic for a while passing south of the Roosevelt Forest. And one other problem, this is a pretty serious one, a crash that happened on Route 8 southbound coming into Derby. And as a result, traffic with the crash and several construction zones has things backed up all the way toward Hotchkiss Heights. It's quite a backup there. And that's the latest from WICC Traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
Today will be sunny and on the windy side with a high in the low 50s. A few scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny tomorrow with a shower or 2 and a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Fioric on WICC.
Need roofing, vinyl siding, gutters, or chimney repairs? Hi, I'm Eddie Griffin, the owner of Brown Roofing, your local roofing expert since 1972. From cracked shingles to leaky chimneys, our certified technicians handle it all. We don't just install, we fortify your home for decades of protection. And right now, you could get 0 interest, 0 payments for 24 months. Call today at 475-445-1195 or visit us at brownroofing600.com. Brown won't let you down.
When life turns uncertain, Bridgeport Rescue Mission is here, providing food, shelter, and support to local families and individuals when they need it most.
Did you know that through our Abundant Life program for homeless recovery, residents receive meals, clothing, and counseling to rebuild their lives?
Give today for hope for tomorrow. Go to bridgeportrescuemission.org. Let your donation restore hope. bridgeportrescuemission.org.
The Huskies, the Nittany Lions, the Orange. Attention high school students and parents. Wednesday, April 22nd is the Southern Connecticut College and Career Fair, the largest college fair in Connecticut. Explore your next step after high school. Wednesday, April 22nd from 4:30 to 7:30 at the Hartford Healthcare Amphitheater in Bridgeport. It's free and open to all students and families. Presented by Chesla, Bigelow Tea, and Connoisseur Media. ctcollegefair.com. That's ctcollegefair.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything with our logo.
That's ambitious.
Cups, boxes, bags.
Ooh, that'll add up.
Not at all. Because right now, Staples prints custom labels for 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep. Now our logo and URL are seen all over town.
Brand your business for less at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Back to the Voice of Connecticut. It's Melissa in the Morning on WICC 600 and 95.9.
Allow me to read just a couple of paragraphs to introduce our next guest as we talk about the environment. This from a story in the Connecticut Mirror from a few months back. The endangerment finding has been repealed, and Connecticut has promised legal action. The EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, issuing a final rule to revoke its own determination that required it to regulate what are known as greenhouse gas emissions that many people say cause global warming. The repeal of what's known as the endangerment finding effectively leaves the U.S. standing nearly alone as a nation, arguably by some denying climate change is a national policy, taking minimal action to stop it, and scrubbing it from nearly all aspects of government. One of the organizations that, as you can imagine, is not happy with this is the the National Resources Defense Council. And joining us right now, Dr. V.J. LeMay. He's a climate and health scientist with the NRDC Science Office. He's an epidemiologist broadly interested in looking into addressing international environmental health challenges. Dr. LeMay, it's Paul here in Connecticut. How are you, sir? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
What was your reaction when you heard of this decision by the Trump-led organization-led EPA? Were you expecting this or not?
Yeah, we've been sort of expecting the worst from the folks at the Trump EPA for a long time, but I have to say this was a really new and unprecedented chapter in its radical agenda to deny the scientific truth and established reality of climate change impacts.
So what does this, other than remove the wording, the verbiage, the references to Dr. LeMay, as many critics like you at the Trump White House are saying, what are the practical, real-world, everyday effects of this? Programs, manufacturing standards. Tell the listeners here what your group and many groups like you were worried about.
Sure. This action at EPA to essentially undo, the authority that our government has to reckon with the climate problem is really dangerous because it is essentially our federal government surrendering to climate chaos for not just current folks, but for future generations as well. So this is essentially the folks at the Trump EPA denying that climate change exists and disempowering our states and cities from being able to actually take actions to respond to the problem with the support of the federal government. So this is a really dangerous, unprecedented move from D.C. because it really robs the government at all levels from the power and the authority to make the needed actions that we need to take on climate change.
Does this, Dr. LeMay, prevent any companies, any organizations from still doing what they would ever want to do? If an appliance company says, well, green energy stuff sells, we know that. Can they still go ahead and do that without being forced to or prodded to by any government or not?
To some extent, it's true that, we can still see some action towards climate progress when it comes to shifting away from our addiction on dangerous fossil fuels, coal, oil, fossil gas, as well as adaptation and preparedness. But we have a big, complicated economy and country, right? And so we need coordinated action and signals from the federal government, market certainty, for example, that we can take these actions and, realize their true economic and health benefits. I do a lot of work on the public health damages of climate change, and it's clear that we need an all-of-government response, all hands on deck at federal, state, and local levels to deal with this problem. And the issue with this action at EPA is that it really removes D.C. and the Environmental Protection Agency from the fight against climate chaos.
What do you say to people, and, knowing our audience here in Connecticut, Dr. LeMay, what do you say to people who say, well, the climate's always changing, it's been changing, and if a company wants to present products that hone in on a person like yourself with these concerns, they can still do that? I'm sure you hear that argument all the time. What are your thoughts on that?
We do. And to the first point on climate changing over time, we're seeing really steps into uncharted territory when it comes to our climate situation. In Connecticut, for example, over the last 15 years, your state has been impacted by $24 billion disaster events. These are the costliest events to property, infrastructure, and crops across the country that the government recently stopped tracking because the folks at the Trump EPA and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration would rather not know the reality of what's happening on the ground. It's not just sea level rise. All sorts of problems are impacting Connecticut here and now. We're talking about extreme heat, infectious disease transmission from warmer and hotter conditions that favor mosquitoes, even wildfire smoke flowing in from Canada. So this is a huge problem for Connecticut and the Northeast, and it's one that's getting worse by the day. Every day that we delay action on the problem makes it harder to solve, more expensive, and more damaging to humans.
Do you hear the argument about and you mentioned the word, I was going to just pretty much wrap up on this, the expense. Tell somebody listening to me now, listening to us here, Dr. LeMay, why the expense is worth it in the long run, in your opinion.
We hear a lot about the supposed costs of dealing with the climate problem, transitioning, towards electric vehicles, improving our adoption of solar, for example. The truth is that clean, renewable energy sources like solar and wind are the most economic and fastest sources of energy to deploy here and now. What we hear a lot less about are the costs of inaction and the deadly delay that's caused by increasing climate problems, right? I do a lot of work on people who are sent to emergency rooms, hospitals across the country, dealing with the health problems of climate-related exposures, extreme heat and pregnancy, for example, asthma exacerbations and heart attacks from smoky days over the summer. Those costs really add up. My research shows billions of dollars each year in health-related costs across the country, and those are on top of those other damages to property and infrastructure and crops that I mentioned earlier. So when we run the numbers, it's very clear. Climate action is a clear slam dunk when it comes to economics. The costs of transitioning away from these fossil fuel sources towards cleaner energy choices will pay off in the near term and over the long run.
We thank Dr. V.J. LeMay, climate scientist looking at health outcomes as well. He works for the Natural Resources Defense Council. Yep, you've heard of them, folks, the NRDC. They have been around since the Nixon administration, going back to 1970. Dr. LeMay, thank you for the time. We really appreciate it, sir. Take care and good luck. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. There you go. All right. Yeah, the NRDC, established by Richard Nixon. He also established the Environmental Protection Agency as well. So, as Mr. Nixon fades into the background even more and more every year, he was a unique guy, quote unquote. All right, traffic and weather together right here, WICC.
WICC Smart MLS Right Now Traffic.
We had quite a few problems on 95 southbound this morning. They're all pretty well cleared up, but we have a remaining problem on the north side. Now, this is because of a crash, and it's got traffic on 95 north backed from around Woodmont past the Milford Parkway. So beware you lose some time going through that stretch. We also have a couple of new problems that have popped up. One of them on the Merritt southbound. Now, this is going to be just a little bit after you cross over Route 110. Some heavy traffic for a while passing south of the Roosevelt Forest. And one other problem, this is a pretty serious one, a crash that happened on Route 8 southbound coming into Derby. And as a result, traffic with the crash and several construction zones has things backed up all the way toward Hotchkiss Heights. It's quite a backup there. And that's the latest from WICC Traffic. I'm Cruising Bruce.
A bright and blustery day on the way with a high and low of 50s. A few widely scattered showers this evening and overnight in the mid-30s. Partly sunny with a shower or two tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Paul Piorek on WICC.
Shopping Anyway connects those who ask, how can I help? With those who say, here's what we need. Hi, I'm Christina Preet, lifelong Connecticut resident and founder of the free mobile app Shopping Anyway. Always know what your favorite cause needs. Download the app at shoppinganyway.com. And nonprofits, please join us on Thursday, April 30th from 8 to 10 a.m. at our host, Connoisseur Media in Milford, for a free event, Stronger Together, a nonprofit resource open house. Register at brbc.org or milfordct.com. Shopping Anyway, because a lot of people helping a little helps a lot.
Discover the finest flooring in Southern Connecticut at Courtesy Carpet. With over 50 years experience, from intricate area rugs and durable vinyl to elegant stair runners, they have it all. Shop anywhere, but see them before you buy. Visit L&J and their team on Route 111 in Monroe or at courtesycarpet.com. Financing is available, so you can get the floors you love today. Trust the experts in quality flooring, because at Courtesy Carpet, your satisfaction is their courtesy.
Come see and hear Horizons of the Water. It's the Greater Bridgeport Symphony conducted by Maestro Eduardo Leandro on Saturday, April 11th, 7:30 p.m. at the Klein in Bridgeport. Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony is a deluge of sound. Cruise the River Moldau and experience Akio's Percussion Concerto. Tickets $21 to $72. Get tickets now at gbs.org. Kids under 19 are free. Call 203-576-0263 for this special offer. That's gbs.org.
Walk when they say you can't stand. Laugh when they say you won't speak. When you're recovering from a severe illness or injury, even the smallest tasks can be the greatest mountains to climb. But at Gaylord Specialty Healthcare, we're not just doctors and nurses and therapists. We're experts and specialists and leaders. And we do whatever it takes to make your recovery possible. Gaylord Specialty Healthcare. Think possible.
Outpatient therapy services now available in Fairfield and Guilford. Gaylord.org.
Do you have questions about real estate? Learn the secrets of real estate investing and get your questions answered during the Real Estate Show with Pat Civitella. Listen Sunday mornings from 9 to 10 for expert information about real estate investing, downsizing, and improvements before selling. Pat will help turn your real estate dreams into reality. Tune in and call The Real Estate Show with Pat Civitella. Sunday mornings from 9 to 10, right here on WICC 600 and 95.9.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Your new customers are listening to the Voice of Connecticut. Become an advertiser and grow your business. You'll reach thousands of Connecticut consumers. Email sales@voiceofct.com.
Back to the news and talk. Thanks to Smart MLS. Smart sellers ask, is my home on Smart MLS? The Voice of Connecticut. WICC 695.9. It's Melissa in the morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? It's Paula for Melissa. Melissa in the morning at 9:51. News up at 10. You hear this gentleman every Saturday morning, 8 a.m., Mastering Your Wealth Radio with David Gagnon. And you hear masteringyourwealthradio.com. It's another way to get it. And with all these swings going on, crazy, our afternoon market update, vastly different than our morning update. What are people supposed to do, especially with what's going on in the Middle East and around the world? Hey, David, good morning. It's Paulie for Melissa. How are you, sir?
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. You know, Dave, I'm listening to the market reports going nuts here. A lot of people feel overwhelmed by all these swings, up 500 points, down 600 points, rising costs, overall financial uncertainty. So we ask you, of course, because you're the expert here, how does having a personalized financial plan help bring some clarity and confidence when everything is so unpredictable and people are just worried about everything, David?
Well, I'll tell you, Paul, uncertainty is normal. The markets have always gone through cycles, right?
Yeah.
So, but what really hurts people is how they react emotionally to that uncertainty. So when fear drives decisions, people sell at the wrong time, they move to cash after losses, and they miss the recovery. So a personalized strategic plan replaces emotion with discipline and structure. Kind of gives you a financial roadmap on how to navigate through all this uncertainty. Now, one of the biggest problems today is that people are getting a one-size-fits-all advice, but retirement planning is really personal. You know, everyone has different goals, timelines, income needs, tax situations, risk tolerance. A real plan isn't built around the market, it's built around the individual. And that's the key. We need something that's individualized and strategically aligned with somebody's goals, objectives, and we spend a lot of time building out these comprehensive plans. So, you know, I've been doing this for decades. And when somebody new calls the office, I'll ask them, what is your plan currently? And they'll start naming off their investments and their retirement accounts. But those are tools. That is not a plan.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of misconception out there about what people are really doing with their money. And a good plan also focuses on what you can control, right? So we can't control inflation, interest rates, global events, but we can control risk exposure, income planning, tax strategies, withdrawal timing. That's where planning creates real value. It shifts people from being reactive with their money to proactive, and that's a key distinction right there.
And as far as confidence, I know that's a big part of it, right? You don't want people chewing on their fingernails all day, David, and running to the PC when they see the market's up and the market's down, and, oh, my God, what am I going to do here? You take the worry out for them, or at least try. How can you help?
Well, I'll tell you, financial confidence comes into play when you know your numbers and you have a plan that's designed and strategically designed based on what you want to do, short-term, long-term, on your personal goals and objectives, and having a tax strategy along with it. So when people understand their plan and where their income is going to come from, how long it will last, and how it responds to market changes, they gain that confidence. They stop reacting to headlines and start trusting their strategy. And it's a financial GPS. You know where you are today. We know where you want to be later, and we design a plan that fixes all the moving parts in between. And at the end of the day, people don't want uncertainty. They want certainty. And so, as I always say, we want income, not ifcome. And when we go through that exercise, we do a lot of teaching. We validate the numbers and the different decisions that somebody might make and what are the true advantages they make, and we'll see in the future, because you always want to look into the future with your numbers, with what you're doing today, to see if it's going to work. And when we do that, we see what problems lie ahead, such as, will you run out of money, pay too much in taxes? What is your backup strategy when a spouse dies? Things will change. What about out-of-pocket health care? What is that strategy? And what about your estate plan? They're all moving financial components that should really be integrated together very efficiently based on somebody's own numbers. And so, last thing we look at is where do you invest your money? Because the plan will identify how you should invest when we know exactly what benefits you need to create, what rate of return you need, and how do we build tax efficiency. My background's taxation. I'm a CPA. That's where people are underserved in a significant way, especially with business owners. And so we try to build tax efficiency because taxes and inflation are one of the two areas that are overlooked that can really throw off a retirement plan because they're not taken into account effectively.
All right. And finally, Dave, how can people get a hold of you, my friend?
So they can give me a call at 203-245-0017, or they can go to our website, Mastering Your Wealth Radio. Our contact information is there. They can schedule a time to talk to me, and then we can assess, what they're doing and see if there's some value in working together. And one of the things we always do, first off, is a comprehensive investment plan analysis, just to give people better clarity as to what kind of risk they're exposed to, and if, in fact, their investments might be aligned according to their benefits and objectives.
MasteringYourWealthRadio.com. Mastering Your Wealth with David Gagnon airs every Saturday, 8 a.m. right here on WICC. Dave, good to talk with you, my friend. We'll chat down the road. Buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Take care. David Gagnon. All right, there you go. Every Saturday at 8 right here on WICC. I want to, before we depart today, I'll be back tomorrow, the rest of the week for Melissa. I want to leave you with this, and it was something that I played earlier in the show. It was just something that hit me over the weekend. We have the Artemis 2 spaceship ready to, within about 3 or 4 hours, become the furthest ship with people on it ever to get away from the Earth, to be furthest away from the Earth. 200 and something thousand miles, almost 300 something miles. Listen to what Victor Glover said about looking back at the Earth.
I don't have anything prepared. I'm glad you brought that up, though. I think these observances are important, and as we are so far from Earth and looking back at, the beauty of creation, I think for me, one of the really important personal perspectives that I have up here is I can really see Earth as one thing. And, when I read the Bible and I look at all of the amazing things that were done for us who were created, it's, you have this amazing place, this spaceship. You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth.
There you go. We're on a spaceship called Earth. Victor Glover there, looking back and just being awestruck. Kids, it was great. Appreciate it. Eric, the producer, thank you. We're back tomorrow, bright and early at Bye, man.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
WICC AM Bridgeport, WICC FM Southport, WEBE HD2 Westport, WPLR HD2 New Haven. Locally owned by Connoisseur Media.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Neither the U.S. nor Iran seems enthusiastic about a new peace proposal from Pakistan this morning. It calls for a 45-day ceasefire and reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Aaron Navarro is at the White House.
It seems like the White House is pouring a little bit of cold water on that, and an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson seemed to explicitly shoot this proposal down, saying that the negotiations were, quote, incompatible with ultimatums and threats to commit war crimes. That's in reference to President Trump threatening to hit civilian infrastructure in Iran.
President Trump has vowed to blow up the whole country if Iran does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz by tomorrow evening. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee says he met with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu today and thanked him for Israel's help rescuing an F-16 fighter pilot stranded in Iran after his